everybody, and welcome to the second round of World Chess Championship between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana. No Peter today, but I'm International Master Sopiko Guramishvili, and we have everybody's favorite Alexander Grischuk from the very beginning.
Hello, dear viewers. Today I will be substituting Peter Svidler. So it's a very high responsibility for me. So already you can see I have tried to dress like Peter.
You look sharp.
And I will try to talk like Peter, although it's an extremely difficult task.
It is, but we do wish Peter good luck because he's playing right now in Bundesliga, and we wish him good luck. But we have our game, second game of Magnus and Fabiano. What do you think? What's opening we will see?
I think, if I need to pick one, it's some kind of Berlin or I don't know, Italian. I think Magnus will play e4 if I'm asked, and Fabiano will play a very solid line,
right?
Which is most likely some Petrov or Berlin, and my pick would be Berlin. But still, it's like the probability is like 20-25%. It's just that individual probability of any other opening is smaller than that, but
right.
Combined probability of all other openings are much higher than Berlin alone.
So after yesterday's game, you think that today's game would be more peaceful?
But I don't think it has that big of a connection to yesterday's game. It's just that I think in general it might be the case that the games in which Magnus is black, they might be more exciting than the ones in which Magnus is white. Just because that black's repertoire is extremely solid for Fabiano, and obviously he's content with the draw with black. So it's like the whole responsibility of creating a fight lies on Magnus.
Right.
And when Fabiano is white, he tries to create something, and Magnus is also not the type to just try to, defend and make a draw and to suffer. So that's why I think in general the games in which Magnus is black, they should be more fighting.
Yeah,
but let's see.
I agree
of course,
with
he
you.
will try to muddy the waters with white as well, and so on.
Sure, I agree with you. Yesterday they had press conference after the game, and Magnus said that of course a draw is fine with black pieces, but he thought that he was winning, of course, but he was too careful. And Fabiano said that generally you should not be happy with white to make a draw, but in yesterday's game he was losing, so he's very happy about it.
Yeah, sure. But I think white's advantage maybe is getting less as the years go by.
Yeah.
Maybe. The statistics obviously needs to be checked, but it's just my general feeling.
Yeah. So we are definitely waiting for the start of the game. They will start very soon. It's sharp 4 o'clock, and Sasha, your move is e4. So just to be different, I would bet for d4.
Okay.
And before we get moves, I would like to remind our viewers who are not premium members yet, if you use the voucher code London 2018, you will get 3 free months. So if you're not premium member yet, make sure you become one. There are lots of things on Chess24 to follow. And what do you think? What will be the main opening of the match?
It can be the opening that Fabiano will pick to face first e4.
Okay.
Okay, already I see that Magnus played d4,
Yeah.
so congratulations.
Oh, I just won the bet. d4, knight f6, knight f3, and d5 is on the board. And we'll see some main line with c4 or g3. What is your feeling?
No, I see already. It's c4.
Okay.
So it was d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So it's like white tried to avoid some kind of Queen's Indian, I guess. Because, I mean, if you're going to play c4 anyway, you can play second c4.
Yeah.
And then just e6, knight f3. So
And b6.
maybe,
right.
I don't know. Or maybe he's just making moves. And yeah, so okay. So I'm surprised that Magnus went for this main position after d4. I mean, this is the position after knight c3 is the one I called main position after d4 because it's just nowadays I think it arises in like at least 50% of games after d4.
Yeah.
And because black has huge choice in this position, there is like bishop e7, bishop b4, knight bd7, c5 and c6, like 5 ultra main moves.
Yeah.
And everywhere there is lots and lots of theory. So I thought going for this position might not suit Magnus, but as you can see, I'm wrong.
Yeah, bishop e7. Fabiano chose to play bishop e7. And do you think bishop g5 or bishop f4 will happen? Will we get this main light or g3?
But g3 Fabiano played recently himself against Nakamura. Okay, it was I think g3, bishop e7, bishop g2, castle, knight c3, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same position.
Yeah.
I don't know. As you can see, today I'm not good at guessing.
So I should make more bets with you.
Yeah, so it's more like, what do you think he will do now?
Oh, yeah. We have still Magnus thinking. I would think that Magnus would go g3, but I'm not sure because we might get this main stuff with bishop g5 and bishop f4. It's just interesting to get in their mind and see what is the preparation.
Yeah, also what's a little bit interesting is that Fabiano chose the Queen Gambit, which was the opening Magnus prepared himself with black in his match, in his second match against Vishy Anand.
Right.
And because he was sort of pressurized by Vishy in the opening, and then he tried to save his skin in the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I mean, he still can have some sort of deep ideas there, because I remember because in the candidates tournament 2011 in Kazan, it was played in like all my games with white, this Queen's Gambit. And I failed to win a single game. Cool. But still I had so many analyses that some of them are relevant even up until now, which is 7 years later.
I'm guessing you're playing it with both colors.
No, with black I almost never played it. I played it I think to 3 times. I made a draw against some Scandinavian player, but not Magnus. And I just survived by complete miracle against David Navarra, and I lost a terrible game to Morozevich.
Oh, and that was the end of the opening for you.
No, actually the end was this game against Navarra, I believe. I believe the game with Morozevich was earlier. But I mean, I was getting fine positions from the opening, but then I don't know. Just maybe not my thing. You know. Everyone has his limitations, you know, and so.
Yeah.
And Magnus is thinking.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Do you think it was a bit unexpected? Because he himself chose this against Anand, and he did not really expect to face.
I don't know. I mean, but I mean, as I tell you, I mean, I'm very surprised by his choice because really, it's like, okay, may I use this board?
Sure.
So okay, so let's say this position. So black can play Vena with huge lines, and Fabiana was playing Vena. You can play this Neo Vena with DC4, E4, B5, which was also played by Fabiano.
That's a recent modern thing, right?
Yeah, then there is a like Tarash improved with C5, CD5, Knight D5. Then you have this thing which has no name, but I call it Super Tarash. It's like CD5, CD4. Because, you know, you have normal Tarash, improved Tarash, and then how do you call this? So I call it Super Tarash.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Okay, then okay, a little bit of an offbeat move. I mean, slightly. This is slightly offbeat, Knight BD7, but also with a lot of stuff to know. Then, of course, you have C6, which again, unless you are prepared, it's pretty much impossible to fight for an opening advantage. Then you have this slightly dubious but still quite solid and fashionable move A6. Okay, you of course have Ragozin, also not the opening in which you can, you know, play with hands and trying to get anything. So and of course you have this ever super solid.
Very solid.
Yeah, this Queen's Gambit. So I'm really surprised he went for this, which gives such a huge choice. And I mean, you need to be sort of prepared everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't
You
know.
would think that E4 is easier for him to choose because Fabiano doesn't play so many things as on D4.
Yeah, but basically already, no, but also if you play E4, you are very happy if your opponent plays many openings.
Yeah.
Because just after D4, everything is fine for black. But after E4, okay, we have a lot of moves already. But after if E4 just puts much more pressure on black, and there are not that many satisfactory lines. I mean, like you have Petrov, Berlin, Marshall, some open Ruy Lopez. Okay, what else? I don't know. Some maybe Bishop C5 Ruy Lopez you can try, but in most other openings, black is just suffering. And I mean, I don't know. I would be very happy to make a deal that, let's say, people play against me, for example, French defense in every game, but I'm denied to prepare for those games. I would be much happier than if they play like some Berlin and I can prepare, you know. So after E4, okay, you don't even have to prepare for lots of stuff.
Yeah. That is true.
Okay, and Naidov. Of course, I forgot. Naidov is okay, and I guess Sveshnikov. Okay, but that's about it. And I mean, all this Sufimtsev, you know, Caro-Kann, French is already a little bit
suffering for black.
A little bit rotten openings, you know, and so yeah, and also I think from the beginning he was E4 player. Like from his core, you know, from his heart, from his core. But okay, I mean, of course, he's very
universal. So yeah. And we had Bishop F4, Castle, E3, C5, D takes C5, and Bishop C5 is on the board right now.
This is the position I had like 4 or 5 times in St. Louis with white, and I think I got sort of a nice advantage in 3 games out of 5, or no, maybe it was 2 out of 4. I had 2 against Vichy and 2 against Nakamura, and I got a nice advantage in 2 of them, but just made all 4 draws. And Fabiano also had this against Okay, so Magnus played queen c2, but I was talking now the most fashionable line is cd5, knight d5, knight d5, ed5, and now not a3, which is sort of the main move, but bishop d3, allowing check, and just playing knight d2. It was played many, many times recently, but queen c2 is sort of the main move. Okay, so...
And the other line just plays against isolated pawn. The main idea of it.
Yes, but okay, there is a move d4, for example. Yeah. No, there is... Yeah, but usually black plays more slowly, like knight c6, then bishop e7. Yeah, they transfer the bishop to f6, where it stands very nicely. Okay, and yeah, queen c2 is the main move. Okay, so now we will see what Magnus has prepared.
Knight c6 was played, and
yeah, knight c6, a3. And now in this position, Magnus himself prepared rook e8 for his game against Vichy in this second match in Sochi. But this move still hasn't become popular. Still, the main move by far is queen a5. And the main, how to say, revelation, I guess, for black is that black was under the pressure in, how it goes? Do you know these all modern games by Nakamura, and how does it go?
You shouldn't count on me on that, but I have a magic trick on Chess24 website that if somebody wants to check which games were played, we have a database tab, and we can check it. So queen a5 was played. Queen a5
okay.
is on the board.
I think I remember. It's rook d1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and black was under some pressure because knight e4, then cd5, then something like ed5, rook d5, knight c3, queen c3, take c3, bishop a3, knight d4, and surprisingly, because it looks completely fine for black on the surface, but in fact black is under some pressure, I guess because knight e7 is met with rook a5 and bishop is in trouble.
Oops.
And somehow the position after knight d4, I think ed4, somehow is very unpleasant for black because king is actually excellently placed in the center. It will go to d2.
D2, yeah.
And yeah, it's not black who has development advantage. I mean, it's not black who is ahead in development, but rather white, surprisingly. But then they found that in the old line with rook d1, rook e8, I believe it's knight d2, e5, bishop g5, knight d4, which is an old line from the match Karpov-Korchnoi in Baguio, queen b1, bishop f5, bishop d3, which was supposed to be a rotation because
taking on d4 never works, probably just mate.
It's not even close. Yeah, Karpov played e4, and after bishop c2, knight c2, queen c2, his center was collapsing. There is bishop f6 threat, and everything just is about. There is maybe b4 white threatens at some point. So it was considered to be bad, but then computer showed an absolutely unbelievable thing. Bishop take d3, queen take d3, knight e4, which looks absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Knight, and okay, now it looks like, for example,
yeah,
but it looks like, okay, what have you given a pawn for?
Yeah.
And surprisingly, here there is an amazing resource for black, something like, I don't even, I mean, I know
b3?
it, but
no, probably.
But knight b3, queen c2.
Yeah.
No, there is just one thing that saves. It's queen b6. Yeah, it's queen b6. So if castle, you have knight e2 check and take b2. Okay, but this is quite obvious.
Yeah.
But okay, queen b6 looks okay. So what queen b6?
Yeah.
b4.
If b4, yeah.
Yeah, just bishop f8, and you cannot castle because of knight e2, knight c3.
Yeah.
Knight e2, knight c3, and then black just wants a5. c5 is met, I guess, with like queen a6 with some deadly threats. And yeah, and black is just extremely fine here. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is like one of the most beautiful things found by computer. I mean, it's not that, you know, fireworks stuff style, but I mean, it's very impressive. Like, even if you will find all those moves in pre-computer era, okay, you would think, okay, still it cannot work. White will find some. No, there is nothing.
Was it played already?
No, it was played many times.
Yeah.
Many. I mean, I'm not here. It became like a tabia for some times. It's bishop d3, queen d3, knight e4. There are other options for white, but I think Nakamura alone played like 10 games in this position with black. And yeah.
But Fabiano chose to go to d8 with the rook.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. I think it will be his policy to make small surprises in the lines and not just play the main lines and wait where Magnus will improve.
Right.
No, I think this is quite smart. And I mean, but rook d8, I haven't seen this move. I don't know what happens now. Like knight d2 looks like the most obvious move, but then. Because now I guess after e5, bishop g5, the rook must stand poorly on d8, yeah, because there are no knight d4 tricks, and also it's the knight is pinned. But maybe after knight d2,
black has something else like d4 is never good.
No, d4,
b4?
No, that's actually but knight b3 and what?
b3.
Queen b6,
knight a4,
4, yeah, and I don't know, bishop b4 check, but it doesn't. Okay,
I can take a knight d2, right? And
yeah, but then maybe like if I don't know. Yeah, white is a piece up, obviously.
Yeah.
e5, bishop g5. Okay, on the surface I don't see what is the point, but okay, let's think knight d2. So okay, there are dc4 is usually always at least slightly worse for black in such positions.
Yeah.
And here maybe it's much worse because after knight c4, knight c4 you can take d1 and go back to d8. But usually dc4 is met with like bishop c4.
And bishop comes with one tempo, and it's never good to allow it.
Yeah, and I mean this queen and a5 and bishop c5 are a little bit loose.
Yeah.
You know, I mean we will probably have to move it back. And again, because like here it looks like probably black is a little bit ahead in development, yeah. Okay. But once you play dc4, bishop c4, bishop, let's say e7, castle, I mean it becomes clear that it's white who is ahead in development.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but there must be some deep idea. I mean, I don't think he's just bluffing so cheaply, you know.
Yeah, just to make sure for the viewers, why b4 does not work after rook d8? Because of the sacrifice and knight e4 coming, and we lose the piece on c3.
I mean, you'll be able maybe to hang
e5?
For it a little bit, but or rook c1, knight e4, bishop e5, but then it will be f6.
Yeah. f6, and we cannot save the piece.
Yeah.
So knight d2 covers this diagonal as well, and then b4 might be the threat.
Yeah, it might be a threat, and also knight b3 is, I think, the main threat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But you know, I mean, this rook d8 was not discovered in like 40 years.
Yeah.
So don't expect me to discover its idea in some minutes. I mean, I'm sure it's just computer's idea with some great tactics behind it. And
we are sure that Fabiano did not mix up anything, or there was just accidental rook instead of rook e8, rook d8. So this is preparation.
Yeah, but also because in these lines, this rook like never ever goes to d8. I mean, just I cannot recall a single line in this whole a3, queen a5, queen c2 thing where the rook lands on d8. So yeah, it cannot be a mix-up, you know.
Yeah, there are no games. I mean, there are some games, but not on top level. So definitely this is some kind of novelty on top level, and it's very interesting how it will follow and what is the idea behind it, because it seems that rook e8, e5, rook belongs to e8.
Yeah, definitely. Rook e8 is like, okay, I mean, then once you go deep there, you sort of run into trouble with black. I mean, until you discover this amazing resource with knight d4, bishop f5, and then knight e4. But yeah, but rook e8 is a natural move. Rook d8, what? Okay, so I guess, okay, so rook d8. Let me think if there are other options for white. So I guess like bishop e2 can be faced with knight e4. And now, unlike the line I was showing with immediate knight e4, white doesn't have cd, d, rook d5 because the pawn is protected.
Yeah.
So okay, so here I don't see anything. Okay, you can always try something like a castle here, knight c3 and bc3, and then trying to fish for some, you know, knight g5 ideas. Yeah. But okay, that's a little bit...
It's risky because we ruin our pawn structure on the queen side. We give up queen side and just have our eyes on the king side.
Definitely, it's risky. So okay, so let's say bishop g5. Okay, looks like has some point because you pin, but I guess even bishop e7. Because I mean the bishop on c5 stands a little bit poorly. For black, I mean, it just comes under attacks like comes under all sorts of attacks. So b4, knight b3, knight a4. Like then maybe at some point when white takes cd5, then queen will have this discover attack on this bishop. Yeah, white. Yeah. When white
knight goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so bishop g5, bishop e7 doesn't seem to improve white's position. Okay, cd5 looks stupid. So
knight d2 is definitely the move to consider.
By far the most natural move, by far, like, and it's very typical, because there is also a huge move knight d2 here, as far as I remember. And then, what happens then? And then black can play like, I think bishop e7 is one of the moves. And, no, what happens here? Because if d4, then knight b3, yeah? Knight b3, queen, and black loses a piece.
With same knight a4.
Knight d2. There is a huge theory there.
Yeah.
Or is it e5? E5, so bishop g5. No. There is some position rising, but no, I guess it's not this. Maybe it's first bishop e7. Then white makes some move. Maybe rook d1 here. And then it goes like e5, bishop g5, d4. Because I remember there is this thing, and there are two moves here, I believe, for the queen d8, or you can play queen b6, and now either knight a4, queen d8 or c7, or bishop f6, knight d5, queen d8. This looks familiar. Yeah, but as you can see in all those lines, the having d8 square for the queen is really of
Important.
paramount importance, and white plays rook d1 anyway. And here, okay, white already has rook d1, and black has taken this square by his rook. So I think he will have some drastically different thing in mind.
Yeah, the only drawback of knight d2, as I see, is just that black easily goes e5.
Yeah, but okay, e5, bishop g5.
Yeah. And d4, knight b3, we just saw it, right?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe some bishop g4 here. Okay, it just will be, you know, sort of street fight. I mean, it's street fight without computer, and with computer it might be just forced draw. Yeah, but I mean, it's just very hard to speculate, you know. In such position, okay, you will lose to computer in 3 moves, both with white and with black, and there is nothing to do about it. But also I wanted to say that maybe one should not overestimate Fabiano preparation, because you probably remember in Moscow candidates he played some amazingly looking novelty against Anish in Grünfeld.
Yeah.
And okay, it looked so cool for black. And Anish just thought like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Grabbed 2 pawns, and then Fabiano started to think, and in some moves there were no real compensation. So sometimes everyone, you know, makes mistakes even in preparation. So, but I don't believe this is the case of the same thing. There will be something after 92.
Yeah, I guess so, because my interest now is rook d8 the first line of the computer, or they just try all moves and afterwards make it work?
Yeah, but first of all, when people speak about first line, like it's some constant thing, and it's not, you know. On depth 30 you have one first line, then on depth 35 you can have another, then on depth 40 you can have another, and then maybe on depth 45 again another.
And it can be even top 5 and same evaluation.
Yeah, sure, yeah, of course. I mean, if there are like 5 moves with about the same evaluation, it's hard to speak about first line. It's like there are 5 first lines. I mean, in my mind. So
but
I view it like this.
Magnus is surprised, because I think he takes time.
Definitely surprised, yeah.
And I expect...
Oh, and he chickened out. No, but bishop e2, it's 94. So maybe... okay, so I guess he maybe has in mind bishop e2, 94, and now knight g5.
Oh, that's nice trick.
Also, what happens
if I take it?
Okay, so...
Do I run?
Check is not mate, yeah?
Yeah, I guess not, but if I take on, like if I give check on h8, king e7, I take on g7,
it's so hard to say. Maybe
rook,
take on d1 even.
Yeah, rook takes, this shouldn't work, because rook f8 even.
And then even dc4 and I don't know.
A lot of things.
Okay, so what does he have in mind? Knight e4. Knight e4 is already played.
And on knight g5, if we simplify the position by taking on g5 and bishop e7.
No, I mean, black will be struggling maybe a little bit at least. It's like this Nimzo with queen c2, d5 lines.
And better pawn structure on queen side.
No, I mean, it's in fact always quite concrete, such positions, but it's clear that it's can be unpleasant. And it never can be pleasant. I mean, it's just the question if you will equalize completely or not, or you will just struggle the whole game.
Right.
So, knight e4. But maybe knight g5, knight c3, bc3 he has in mind. So now h7 is really hanging. I guess you will have to play something like g6. I guess I don't know. I mean, even if let's say you play e5 with the idea that after queen h7, king f8, there are both bishop and c3 pawn are hanging, but e5 can be even met by bishop g3. As far as but maybe
g6 bishop h5. Sorry. Yeah.
What?
No.
Maybe no, but maybe there is h6. So queen h7 is sort of forced if I want anything. And now I don't know. There is some knight f7 or queen h8, queen g7, queen h8, queen g7. Let's say.
Yeah, c3 pawn is.
Yeah, protected. I guess black has to take. Looks quite awful for black.
Yeah.
So,
but if I don't take the knight, then f7 pawn is hanging, and it looks awful. Yeah. If I play e5 here, bishop g3 and g6, bishop f5 idea.
Yes, but now this pawn is unprotected.
Yeah, and you simply grab the pawn.
I mean, and bishop f5, I guess e4 can be played, or queen b3.
Yeah, everything.
I mean, something will work. Because, I mean, I guess e4, knight d4 with some complications, but, I mean, it just doesn't seem like it can work. So, knight g5, knight c3, I guess. So, bc3. And I think g6 should be the main move. And now I don't know. Now I guess if white wants to be adventurous with h4, but I don't think it will lead to any kind of attack because black has e5, and if bishop g3, bishop f5, and now black is fully developed, and I think only white can be in trouble.
Yeah.
So I guess it's time after all to make castle, and. But I guess this is, I mean, if we are not missing something, this should be the position that Fabiano analyzed in detail because it's quite.
Oh, we have a bit of connection issues.
There's definitely some risk for white as well.
Yeah, and to the eye, it also looks not that bad for black. Right?
Yeah, it's just a little bit too few pieces protecting his king side. It's like king is sort of left alone. I mean, white is not a...
Oh.
So.
Sorry, we did not hear you. We had a connection.
I said that there are no pieces defending black's king.
Right.
I mean, white is not really attacking yet, but as you can see, queen is a little bit cut because c7 square is controlled by the bishop. And, I mean, the king is really a little bit alone on g8.
Yeah.
But, okay, there is no attack yet. So
knight g5 is definitely the critical move, but is it the only one because of the knight c3?
No, of course he can play castle, knight c3, bc3. Okay, so now I just thought that it will be beneficial for white to have g6 instead of h6, because now black can play h6. And I thought it would be better for white to have g6 instead, but maybe I'm wrong, it's quite possible. But now I don't really see how to... You can always, I don't know, like...
Take.
Because I guess a3 pawn is not really hanging at the moment, because if queen a3 then rook a1, and bishop a3 also rook a1, and black will probably
queen c5,
lose...
queen b3, and to the...
Yeah, black will lose material in both cases. But on the other hand, if you play like knight d4, which is the obvious move, then I don't know, then maybe black will be able to take, or maybe not. Maybe actually this is more in Magnus style, maybe he will play like this. Okay, so let me think. So it's, let's say, castle. I guess knight c3 has to be played, bc3, and yeah, I mean, it looks nice to prevent knight g5, but maybe
Can I try bishop e7?
Yeah,
Bishop
definitely.
F6.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. And yeah, and now knight g5, I guess
Same.
g6. Yeah, g6, and then then it may be this position can arise by transposition, like by two move orders. But again, I didn't manage to guess Magnus' move. He played cd5, which is quite weird for me.
Does he give an important tempo to black, or just cd5, ed5 might be in black's favor because it opens the c8 bishop?
I don't know. I just thought in general in these positions, like let's say in this position, I thought dc4 just looks too dangerous because it just allows white to play rook d8, then rook d1, then knight e4, everything with tempo.
Right.
But maybe actually it will then have nothing to attack, like rook d8, queen d8, rook d1. Now I don't know, like. I mean, this looks a little bit scary
Queen a5 back, or where?
5 back. No, maybe now I will just take.
Yeah.
And then at some point maybe queen e4, and then if queen comes to h4, it will be real trouble. But you have bishop e7. Yeah, maybe I'm overestimating white's in it. But still, you need to...
Knight e4, d6.
Yeah, you need to somehow develop your c8 bishop, so it's... I don't know, I mean, it's just all, little details and, and subtitles, and it's hard to say, but still, cd5, I don't know, it just doesn't look beautiful, this move, because now c8 bishop is completely freed, so ed5, I don't know, I guess you will play castle eventually.
And knight c3 I think will follow, because it's nice to just ruin white's structure.
No, but now also there is
bishop
some
f5.
idea of bishop f5. I don't know, it's just...
knight h4.
Knight h4.
Yeah? Or no.
Nice move. But it's a sacrifice.
Yeah,
so
it is sacrifice. Yeah.
Knight f5, knight g1.
b4 is not intermediate anything?
Yes, but just maybe take.
Oh, and you run with your knight. Knight is not trapped.
To c3, and it will stand actually. And if you don't play b4 and play, like, I don't know, rook d1,
then
I
I'm
have bishop f8, and I think
exchange down.
Have more or less everything under control.
Yeah.
I don't know, so bishop f5. I don't know. Maybe you can sacrifice this way, like bishop d3. And if knight c3, bishop f5, knight d1, you have bishop h7.
Oh.
And then rook take d1.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Could I try also b4, or it's very dangerous when I have... Yeah, b4 here, queen a3, knight b5, queen b4, and rook b1. But, c5 is not hanging, sorry.
Yeah, it's not hanging, but in fact it's a nice
c7.
idea because you have bishop c7.
Yeah, but I'm a bit afraid of the pin, or it's not dangerous.
I don't know. I mean, it's just such a mess after before. It's just... Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm just overwhelmed by tactics here. It's just to everything can be hanging.
Yeah.
I think black maybe has an option of... no, maybe not. If you play knight b4, because I thought knight b4 with idea of knight a3, knight c2.
Knight c3.
Yeah, and knight c3, but then after rook d2 there is knight e2 and bishop d3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess white has after knight b4 has queen takes c5.
Oh, that's nice.
Although I don't know, then some...
If I move my
queen b2,
queen a4 should not work.
Queen a4, but I have e7 square, so I want to also attack the bishop on e2. So queen b2, but maybe still queen e7, because now b4 is hanging. If queen e2, white has queen b4.
And rook e8 to just get then.
Or rook e8.
But then knight c7 also is somehow, if I...
Yeah, it will be in the air, and maybe like queen h4.
Queen
yeah,
h4,
simply 4 and queen
and
e2, knight c7, and it should be better for white. I guess. There is also knight d4 somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
And okay, let's say black just plays, after the castle, just plays knight c3, bc3. And what was our idea? Like to play bishop e7, yeah?
Yeah, with bishop f6.
Yeah, it looks fine. I mean, okay. Knight d4, let's say. I don't know.
It is tough. Knight d4 is a strong piece.
Yeah, but you can maybe take.
And queen c5, right?
And if knight b5, queen c5, knight c7, rook b8, I don't see anything more than a draw with knight b5. I mean, maybe
and
there
bishop
are some...
f3, if I try to play against d5 pawn?
Okay, it's nice. Sometimes there is g5 in such positions, but now it's just bishop g3, yeah? It's pointless.
Some sort of knight b4 at some point. I mean...
Yeah, knight b4, yeah, but not now, I guess, because...
I meant that if g5, bishop g3, g4, if I take on d5 with bishop...
yeah. Yes, but I don't think it will work.
But anyway, queen b3, right?
Lots of things. There is bishop take f7, even, or maybe even queen f4. No, this g5 is probably for different positions. Maybe d4 here.
Oh yeah, d4 is nice.
And if ed4, knight d4.
Yeah, then bishop f5 comes as well.
Yeah, and I will just show for the viewers that white's pawn is pinned, so you cannot take because queen will be lost. g4. Yeah, I mean, all I can do is just show some random lines. I mean, interesting.
Complicated position.
Yeah.
I think that we had a bit of... we are mistaken because we thought that c5 was played, but c5 was not played. We don't have it on board. h6 was played.
Okay. So actually we were right.
Yeah. c5 didn't happen.
c5 looked strange. Yeah. Well, okay, so it's now interesting that he preferred h6 over bishop e7.
Yeah.
Because h6 now I thought this cd5. I don't know, maybe you can play rook d5. It's hard to say, but let's say you play ed5.
Yeah.
Knight d4 I thought can be a little bit unpleasant for black. Because I guess if you take on d4, cd4, it's an improvement for white structure. And also now you cannot go to f8 or e7 because of bishop c7.
Yeah.
Bishop f5. Okay, there will be something for it. Bishop f5, I guess, queen c1. Yeah. And so I think knight d4, cd4, you can play bishop d6. But I'm not completely sure, but it looks like it can be and even should be slightly better for white, even after, I don't know, queen c5. It looks like white has a little bit healthier structure.
Yeah, in this case,
might be wrong.
I might be wrong. 2 against 1 is not an advantage for black. Because I thought that in this case, 2 against 1 for black is not advantage for black because he still needs to develop.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like black has a weak pawn on d5. I don't know. I mean, maybe now rook c1 and then queen c7. I guess it should be slightly better for white, but I might be wrong. I'm not positive about this evaluation. And
Castle was played. Yeah, cd5 was interesting. Right?
No, I mean now cd5 is interesting because now this position that we have after h6. And what else can he do? He can, I don't know, knight d4 immediately is a little bit strange. Just looks strange.
To allow dc4 maybe? Can I go dc4?
Yeah, c4, knight c6, just bc6. Nothing, just equal. Yeah, so my guess is cd5, but I'm always wrong today, so d5, knight d4. And also, you know, because there are all sorts of things that white kind of threatens, like knight b5, knight b3, and so on. But sometimes in this position, you know, computer makes one precise move, and then suddenly nothing works. Just nothing. So maybe Fabiano has one. Oh, maybe he can be super ambitious and go for bishop d4 and queen a3.
Just win the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I guess white has some quite decent compensation, but a pawn is a pawn. Actually, the more I look, the healthier it looks to me for black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So maybe this is why. Maybe this is why he chose h6 and not bishop e7. Also, I wanted to say to the viewers that sometimes, you know, somebody is following his preparation and then people say, but why he played h6 and not bishop e7, for example. Like people think that when you're in preparation, your all moves are forced. And this is not the case at all. I mean, maybe it's about the same moves. Like maybe next time he will play bishop e7. Or something. I mean, sometimes, you know, like preparation is not some, you know, some Bible or something where you cannot, you know, change one letter.
It's not necessarily the guideline.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's some sort of a guideline, but it's not like something, you know, something holy or something like that, something saint, you know. It's just you make some moves and that's it.
I just thought that maybe on cd5, black could like sacrifice a pawn, I don't know, with knight e7, and if d takes e6, bishop e6, rook c8 comes, but and on d6 to play knight f5. Does it make sense at all?
Maybe, but I mean, I am always very reluctant to sacrifice central pawns. I mean, I think, you know, the pawns, it's like a pawn is made for sacrificing, and central pawns, they are made to, you know, to hold them.
Oh, that's a very good point.
But Magnus thinks exactly the opposite and plays a4 in this position. So, I don't know, he's doing everything to embarrass me, starting from the yesterday's endgame.
I think himself for now, not you.
Yeah, actually what I like about this position is that there is quite a lot of potential for a quick draw. I mean, white can play like at some point cd5, ed5, c4, and then there will be just some mass simplifications. Just mass simplifications. And as I said during my banter blitz yesterday, I revealed a little secret that as a professional commentator, I'm rooting for 12 quick draws.
Oh, really quick ones after yesterday's 100 moves.
Yeah, okay, now for 11 quick draws, So let's see, but now a4, which means, okay, he's not really trying for some quick initiative or something. Yeah, there is a lot of potential for a quick draw in this game. I mean, for a semi-quick. I mean, I guess for those two guys, like 2.5, 3 hours even can be considered as like a quick draw. Because Magnus likes to shuffle pieces around and so on.
But can black stop this CD5, ED5, C4 idea? Is there a way? Like if he takes now to C4 and plays bishop E7?
No, DC4 is also an option, definitely, yeah. But I just don't think this CD5, ED5, DC4 is
Something to stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I'm mentioning it because it suits me very well. So I guess, yeah, there is DC4 or moving this bishop away from C5.
Yeah.
Is like two main things I would consider.
As I see, black's main problem in this position is the bishop on C8.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I was so surprised by the early CD5, because then you just open it for no real reason. Yeah, but maybe DC4 is just a very fine move. Yeah, so now let's say if bishop C4. Yeah, there may be a little bit that concerns him, bishop C4, and if bishop D7, which is natural, yeah, then there is some rook B1.
Attacking B7 and rook B5.
Yeah, and rook B5. Rook B5 is very nasty. So I don't know. Now maybe you can play something like knight E7.
I take it?
And, yeah, take on A4. I don't know.
I won't play rook A1 because it blunders the mate on... Oh, it's not even mate, but after bishop D3 it is lost.
Yeah, it shows that rook A5, rook D1 check. And but let's say you move your queen somewhere
to A2 maybe,
but the queen is not protected. Maybe to A2, and then you have bishop C7 threat, and the bishop is pinned. So I mean, maybe it's fine for black again. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. Bishop B6
E7
you cannot play
hanging,
because E7 is hanging. Yes. So and there is some bishop take E6 even in the
area.
Or 95, 90. So this doesn't look nice for black. So I don't know. I would be probably mostly considering like something like bishop E7. And he already played knight E7.
Oh.
So it seems like he analyzed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this move looks very nice.
Yeah, he wants to grab with the piece on D5.
Yeah, this is actually one of the moves that I was mentioning, in the sense that, you know, there are some threats, but computer makes one move, and then all those threats, they just become an illusion.
Disappear, yeah.
Yeah. Now CD5 always met with knight take D5.
And move like, let's say, rook b1, a6, and knight d2, just to bother this queen on a5?
Rook b1, yes, but how forced is... First of all, now I can play bishop d7.
Yeah? It will transpose.
Not really, because I will not take dc4.
Oh, yeah.
So it's true. A little bit different. Now maybe I can even take with the queen to avoid this spin. Now it looks much nicer for black than it used to. Maybe there is some trick with queen a4, bishop a4, rook c7.
Oh, rook c7.
And if rook... you have rook a8. Rook a8 is because if rook dc8, then rook c5 and bishop d6.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have... I can make a move. So rook c7, there is rook a8. Yeah, but also judging that Fabiano is blitzing out the moves.
He's definitely prepared.
Yeah, and I don't know, 95 maybe, because as we said earlier, there is also some danger for white as well.
Yeah.
The pawns are slightly weak. I mean, I don't think white is worse yet, but I guess he also will need to be precise. I don't know, 95 looks logical, but even bishop d7 can be played, I guess. Knight d7, rook d7.
Can I try e4 or d4 comes?
e4, d4, e4 is... Yeah, and now I mean, black's structure is a little bit better, but white has two bishops. It should just even out.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and this is like my dream position. I mean, this is here, I think, a draw and a quick one is quite unavoidable by two very competent players. Yeah, I think here is, yeah, it's a very level position, in my opinion. I mean, the one thing you need to be careful with white is not let an exchange of dark squared bishops at some point, because then white can be worse, but I think here it's extremely level. Okay, so ops.
Yeah.
How do you go to live?
We can just double click here, and we will get the position.
Okay.
Just pity all our analyzes are lost.
Yeah, but we can live with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, now Magnus really needs to find something almost brilliant in order to fight for advantage.
Yeah.
Or I guess knight. I don't know. To me, 95 looks, because also with 95 you probably create almost a threat of bishop h5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like bishop d7 is almost forced. I just don't see other good moves for black. Maybe there are some, but it just looks overwhelmingly the most natural move.
And if I take on d5 right now, then bishop a4 and...
But also, why cannot I just take like this?
Yeah, it's possible. I just thought maybe I could take on d7 and...
Yeah, but you could, I guess, even here I was going to take with a knight.
With the knight, not with the rook, yeah.
My plan was to take with a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try to use the pin, but even that is not so easy, because after e4, I guess I might have queen takes c3.
Yeah. Queen c3 is annoying.
So, I mean, I don't think this pin has too much relevance. And yeah, I don't know. Now Magnus, yeah, he either comes with something brilliant or it will be just quite equal. I don't know, maybe e4 here. The point is that if dc4, then knight e5, and there is no bishop d7, so now black, I mean, there is no clear way how to develop.
Yeah.
And if d4, which is probably a better, also there is bishop d7, of course, to attack
play
a4.
Intermediate knight g6 and then dc4?
Knight g6 and then dc4. That's an interesting point, yes. Yeah, that looks very nice. Bishop, I guess, g3, dc4. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, but still, yeah, bishop c4, bishop d7, and rook c8, just right. And that,
I mean, here you can become
black
really worse.
Yeah.
Right, really worse.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I don't see. But again, he surprises me like almost every move. So
let's wait for the surprise.
Yeah. Actually, I think if he will start thinking for really long now, it might be a good moment to take a break, because I'm sort of ran out of ideas in this position, and I really think he might think for quite some time here.
Of course, whenever you wish.
Okay, I'll take now.
All right, so stay tuned and we'll be back soon.
See you.
See you. The guy who is supposed to do everything here is not here, so Sasha left, but I'm still here, so no break for me? Seems like. And I'm able to read the chat. So I can be here till I deserve break. We have lots going on in chat, and if you have any questions, just it's pity today that I'm not able to do everything. Look at chat, look at the position, and look the other side of me where we have Sasha. So I apologize that I'm not able to read out all your all the chat, but I sometimes look, and if I see some interesting questions, the lines which you're interested to discuss, then I'll definitely read it out loud. Okay, so I guess it's break time for me as well, and we'll be back soon.
Obviously, the next coverage
In the module itself, I've never been over it again. She's like 5 stars, like one big line, one.
So, welcome back. Short break for us, and we're back. Nothing changed. Oh no, we have some moves.
Yeah, he has played 95.
95 and bishop d6 followed.
Yeah.
We were thinking bishop d7, right? That was more natural for
me, for us, yeah. But maybe he played stronger. He played bishop d6.
If we look at the clock, Fabiano has 1 hour 34 minutes and Magnus 55 minutes. So he's still in the book and still in preparation, I guess.
I think he took like 8 minutes for his last move for bishop d6.
Okay.
But still it's quite fast.
Yeah.
So he could just sort of recall this move. Yeah, it's funny because I had a little bit of a similar position against Fabiano, but I had also my pawn on g4 because it was like I played my, you know, in air quotes, brilliant idea in Queen's Gambit. It was bishop g5, h6, bishop f4, castle e3, knight bd7, g4. But then something went wrong very quickly for me. He played something like dc4, bishop c4, knight b6. I went somewhere with the bishop, I guess to b3. And then it was, he played something like c5. No, first I think he played like knight bd5 or fd5. I don't know, he played with some knight. And then he took somewhere on c3, played c5, knight d5, and it became a little bit... and then maybe at some point I took dc5, because it really looks familiar to me, and then I was struggling big way, and then eventually lost. So he probably has pleasant memories.
Yeah.
Bishop d6.
G4 reminded me the game Anish played against you in the candidates, right? Not in this position, but it was completely very, very bad move, and I thought that he copied you.
He played, but against not me, against someone else.
Oh, it was
you mean against me in Grand Prix? He played.
Oh, Grand Prix, not in the candidate. Sorry, Grand Prix. Yeah.
Yes, but it was very different structure. No, g4, like when Mamediyarov plays it, it's almost always good, but for others it's not so easy to find the appropriate moment for g4. I guess both me and Magnus, we underestimated this bishop d6.
So bishop d6, black just wants to take... No, he doesn't want to take on c4 because knight c4
I guess
anyway.
he wants
Queen
queen
c7?
mainly. And just in general he managed to put pressure on white's pieces. I don't know.
Bishop d6. It is a bit difficult move to calculate on knight e5 because you don't expect this tiny backward move with bishop.
I guess the point is that cd5, knight d5, knight c4, there is this queen c3 trick.
Oh, again.
I think this is the point behind this. And after queen c3, knight c3, white has his bishop hanging, and he will be pawned down after, let's say, bishop d6, knight e2, or rook d6, knight e2. No, there are some, of course, drawing chances, but still there are no point to go for this with white. I guess it still was in Fabiano's lines because 8 minutes is just too fast to make sure it works otherwise. I mean, especially usually you need to warm up a little bit after blitzing out 15 moves and take some time. This is, you can see, this is how computer would crush humans in like every game. I mean, even here it's like super solid line for white, and probably already he's a little bit worse. And with white, you know, it's not some regular player is playing, it's world champion. I don't know, I just recently has discussion with Karyakin. I asked him how many games Magnus would lose against computer with white in anti-Berlin with rook e1. And out of 10, let's say.
Yeah.
And actually, initially I thought that maybe he'll lose 2 out of 10, but now I think the question should be posed in another way, like how many draws he will.
Draws,
Yeah, I think even in such, you know, anti-Berlin or the most dual positions, computer will just crush the strongest of you. This is a little bit sad.
Yeah. We are in computer era right now, and engines become stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
And what did Sergey say? How many games would he?
Yeah, at first he was thinking, like 1 or 2 out of 10 he will lose. Now I would rather say 1 or 2 draws.
Oh.
I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's embarrassing for all our human race. I don't think I embarrass Magnus
no,
solely.
Of course not.
I'm not trying to do that.
No.
I guess, I mean, I'm sure I would lose all 10. I mean,
Yeah, it's very strong nowadays, the computers. But in this position, I guess that white should do something very fast, otherwise he can become really worse because of the pawn structure, and also pieces are hanging in the center. And queen c7 is an obvious threat, right?
I guess so, yeah. And if, let's say, bishop h5, then I believe black will just take.
And take on c4.
And take on c4. So now, okay, I mean, bishop is not really hanging, but black wants bishop d7, I guess, so it looks natural to take and play rook d1. And now
queen f5 again?
Maybe, but queen f, what I don't like about queen f5 then you don't have bishop d7.
Right.
So, but maybe still, I don't know. But queen a5.
Well, it's not really hanging because rook d8 is made, right?
Yeah. I mean, you probably
knight
threaten
c6,
like knight c6, but maybe I have like bishop f3. No, here it looks like some compensation. So let's think like bishop h5. Okay, rook f8 looks just so bad, it cannot be the move.
No. G6 is too risky with
G6.
With some sacrifices coming.
I guess I will sacrifice. I cannot myself.
Yeah.
I will try.
Yeah, this doesn't look.
I mean, at the very least, I will have quite a lot of pawns.
Yeah, king g7 and just.
King g7. Or there is also maybe queen c7. Yeah, maybe it's not that bad for black as well. Okay, I don't know, just bishop h5, g6.
No, it's too risky. But we can get the moves back, so it's easier for us.
Yeah, okay, so let's say bishop h5, bishop e5, bishop e5. You can also insert knight c6 here if you like to.
This might be important.
I guess my bishop will have to go back to somewhere, let's say to g3. Okay, again, I guess it's time to take. But I don't know, I mean, here it looks like, again, quite a decent compensation. I mean, it should be enough for a draw, for
But
sure.
could I take it with knight? Use that, or rook d1 anyway, right? Rook d1 anyway.
Ah, rook d1, yeah, and
Yeah.
with bishop d7, I have bishop f7 check.
Yes, yes, and
At the
rook
very
d7.
least, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and again, I don't know, maybe you can, yeah, it shouldn't be, but I mean, if you were in time to play like e5 and then bishop e6 and f6, you would actually cut this bishop on g3,
Right.
but it should not work. I mean, if bishop e5, then there is some knight c6, but overall it doesn't look right. There is queen e4 and but who knows?
As I glance at chat, there is some ideas and the moves I just read is one of them is knight f7 sacrifice. Either immediately or after cd5. Though after cd5 I was wondering if black could go queen c7.
Oof. So cd5, queen c7. I mean, if I want to sacrifice, I maybe still can sacrifice.
Yeah, probably, and it would be worst version.
I also can play like, but can I play e6? And bishop e5, bishop e5.
Yes, and rook d8 is hanging, so yeah, the queen c7 is a very bad move.
So I guess cd5, knight d5 after all, knight f7. Oh.
Take on f7, bishop h5. But what?
No, I don't know. Maybe there is queen h7. I don't know. You think, or maybe it's just take.
I just don't know. I just glanced at knight f7, so it's probably interesting to analyze.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe something like this. You have queen knight b4, but then there is some queen h7.
Ooh, this looks.
I don't know.
Looks bad.
Bad for whom?
For black, no. With
I don't know. It just looks very. You have queen f5. There is no.
There is no bishop h. Yeah.
No.
There's no bishop h5. Oh, that's pity. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe knight c6. Like there are no real threats. I don't know. It just.
Yeah. Interesting, but maybe he can try like to take on after cd5 or directly to take and knight f7, knight d5 here, knight f7, king f7, bishop h5, and to do the same, but with that I have bishop on h5. Let's say I take on d6, c4, and on knight b4 I go queen g6.
Nice.
I don't know.
I know there is like. Yeah, it's just extremely complicated.
Yeah.
But it looks very nice. I mean, if it works, then I would actually question this bishop d6 and still prefer bishop d7. Because I don't know, this bishop d7 was very, very solid. I don't know, maybe still here you can play cd5 and if knight d5, knight f7, but now I doubt it. Although, who knows? With the point is that if king f7, then bishop h5, king f8, and queen, I guess h7, g6. G6, I guess I have bishop e8, but maybe queen h7, so...
Bishop h6 doesn't work? Nothing, yeah? Bishop h6 here?
Also might work, I don't know.
Maybe knight f6.
Knight f6, bishop g7.
Oh yeah, and queen g6. That's bad.
Yeah. I don't know, it just... Also, it's extremely difficult to analyze, like, two different but similar lines at the same time.
Yeah.
It's,
To know what is the difference.
I mean, one is already tough, but two is
Yeah.
just almost impossible.
Also, the question probably is like, what is the difference if I start with CD5 after bishop d6 or directly take knight f7?
Okay, so let's say you take.
But then c4, knight is not on d5, and these ideas with bishop d6, c4 won't work.
And also there is no bishop h5 check because there is simply, so your only idea is to play bishop d6, rook d6 and queen h7, yeah?
Yeah.
Something like this.
But
And
this looks
then I
very
don't
risky.
know. But for both.
Yeah, for both, yeah. Because bishop h5 is the threat now.
It's a threat, but it's maybe not completely deadly because I will have king f8 and queen h8, knight g8.
Rook
I don't know,
d4,
even like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
e5.
e5, yeah.
I don't know. h8, knight g8.
Can I go f4, f5, or just e5?
Yeah, you can definitely try to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm protecting f5 with a bishop, so
Yes.
it's not a forced win, at least, at the very least. So, okay, so Magnus played cd5, knight d5.
Okay, so that's the moment. Do we have knight f7? Does knight f7 work?
Yeah, and even if it does he have the guts to
Yeah.
to deliver it? Okay, so let's think again. Knight f7. What if knight take f4? Then I guess then white has knight d8.
Yeah.
Okay, so queen c3 doesn't work, even queen c3.
Yeah.
Okay, I will show
Yeah.
just the
d6
viewers.
is hanging.
Yeah, and d6 is hanging. And if here he plays knight e2, queen e2, queen d8, there is queen d3 or queen d2 and white wins.
Yeah.
There is a pin, so knight f4 is not a move.
King f7 is critical.
I guess bishop f4, knight d8 and bishop somewhere, like, but it doesn't seem right. There are c4 and queen g6, everything.
Yeah.
And so it seems that king f7 is forced. Then bishop take d6 looks nice to make this rook
Pin, yeah.
Yeah, to make the knight pinned and the rook unprotected.
And probably bishop h5 is nice as well, and play c4 afterwards. Not to...
But now we have king g8.
g8, yeah. King g8.
So what if we play c4 anyway? Now there is knight e3 somewhere, because now f e3 doesn't come with a
let's
check.
But does it work? Knight
don't know.
e3?
Knight e3, but maybe even then I have like queen g6, because I'm threatening a mate in 2.
Mate in 2, yeah. With
Yeah,
queen
so
e3.
if rook d1, there is mate in 2.
Yeah,
I will just
that's
show.
beautiful.
And so queen g6.
He can save it with... No, he can't save it, no.
No, I mean, there is some bishop d7 even, maybe.
Bishop d7, maybe I could
But you just take
on e3, yeah.
or you can take on
d6,
d6.
yeah.
D6 is unprotected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so what's going on then? So, knight f7. King f7 is, I guess, forced. Bishop d6. I mean, there is queen c3. But again, it doesn't seem right. You have check.
And queen g6.
Yeah. Yeah, white will
Queen
be
G6
clearly
anyway.
better.
With
No, I
same,
mean, maybe
yeah.
black doesn't lose immediately, but
Yeah.
there is equal material, white should be clearly better.
Yeah.
So rook d6, you check. I don't know, you can, yeah, if you go to e7, then queen g6, and there is queen e8 threat. I mean, at first I thought that maybe I defend everything with that, but there
But,
is queen e8.
Yeah. And queen
So,
G7.
yeah, it looks very interesting. I don't know.
He
So
should go
king,
to G8, C4.
yes,
Maybe knight f6. No.
yeah,
G6.
but then
No.
I will take. You probably will take with a knight to avoid rook d8.
Yeah.
But then still rook fd1 and rook d8 is unavoidable, and the material is almost equal.
Yeah.
And it looks
This
extremely
doesn't
bad.
look, yeah.
Black.
Maybe
Looks
if
bad.
I try to take with queen, also not, right? Because I cannot. I mean, knight f6, rook d6, and queen h5.
Yeah, but then I will have rook d8 and.
Oh, yeah.
No, that
Yeah,
was the
this is-
point
yeah, yeah,
of knight h5 to avoid
Yeah.
immediate. C4. Yeah, I mean, I guess he can play like bishop d7.
Yeah.
cd5, ed5. Or there is some bishop a4 somewhere as well. But let's say ed5 first. But here white should be clearly better as well, yeah.
Looks like.
But I mean, black doesn't lose by force or even quickly here, at least. So at least he has this option of playing like that.
And we have discussion in chat as well. What would happen after c4, queen c7? King g8, c4, queen c7. That looks interesting.
Yes. So let's say queen g6. Just 97?
97, yeah.
And there are no real threats.
Queen f7. No, nothing real.
No, so let's say queen e8, king h7, I take, play rook d1.
Yeah. With rook d8, how do I defend it? I can go queen b4 maybe?
Queen b4, but now you don't have next move.
Yeah, if I play just h3, right?
Yeah, even or even maybe like bishop f3 is an option, just to prevent b6, because I thought if h3 then b6. But it's
rook
just
d8?
a mate.
Yeah.
It's just a mate.
Yeah.
Yes. So queen g6.
So queen g6.
Yeah, again, if you play bishop d7, and then if ed5, I have queen g6, f7, and if bishop e8, I can play queen g4. Let's say take. So if ed5, I have rook d5, and if rook ad8. But even the rook is protected, so there is
So
g6.
it's just healthy pawn, right?
Yeah, at least one.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this is type of position. I cannot guarantee that the lines are even remotely right here.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be missing. I mean, it's just everything depends on one defensive resource and maybe knight f. No, if knight f6, then what? Maybe there is knight f6.
Rook d6, queen d6. Check
And
doesn't give me anything, probably. Just
No, you
king
probably
h8.
check. And if king h8, rook d1.
Okay.
And if king h7, then rook d1 anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first rook d1 and then bishop g6. So
Yeah.
And okay, so let's king h8, rook d1. Again, it looks very dangerous.
This is tough. Queen b6 probably.
Yeah, now you are ready to meet bishop g6 with bishop d7.
Yeah.
So maybe I will give a check to paralyze.
Yeah, to pin the bishop, right?
And then I will try, I don't know, bishop f3 or bishop e2 or bishop
rook d8 doesn't work because I might have bishop d1 or just h.
But I guess you will just take. There are no pieces.
Oh, there is no, yeah, there's no pieces left, yeah.
And no, I think we really need this bishop to help us mating.
Bishop f7?
Yeah, bishop f7, but now what's the threat? So...
rook, I wanted h3 and rook d8, but it's probably too much.
Yeah, but maybe now you'll have like queen b3.
Yeah.
Maybe, is there a crazy move g4?
Wow, that's nice.
I mean, I just want to keep it controlling the g6.
And rook d8 coming.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm trying to be Mamediyarov. I don't know, just... Yeah, you know, but you know, nowadays we are used to the fact that you can analyze such thing to a definite conclusion with computer in a matter of minutes or at least half an hour. But before computers were made, it was it took people sometimes 10 years to analyze such position properly.
Right.
So but Magnus didn't play. He played bishop f3. So all this goes to the bin.
Yeah. It's pity, I think. Well, I have to say that it's very difficult to calculate all the lines that's connected to knight f7, and he has 39 minutes left. But would you think it's worth to think more, waste a bit of time, put like 10-20 minutes and calculate knight f7, or you think he just missed this idea completely?
I don't think he has missed. Also, I mean, it's impossible to completely calculate it for a human. It's just you believe it or not. And I guess a very big part of why he didn't play it is because he felt that Fabiano is still in his preparation. I mean, if he was sure it's not a preparation, I mean, at least the chance of him going for knight f7 just rises like 10 times. I mean, it can be like 10% chance when he thinks Fabiano is in preparation, and 90% chance when he thinks that Fabiano is not in preparation. I mean, to go for knight f7.
Yes.
So.
But would you yourself think a bit more, like in this situation?
No, I mean, I always think a bit more without real reason.
That is why I ask, like, without reason.
I'm a wrong person to ask. But now, what is this bishop f3 is just trying to make a draw, I guess. I mean, what is... or maybe, what's his idea? If knight f4 even?
Right, take it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the queen c7.
Yeah.
And then I will just even take e5 or bishop d7. Okay, so Fabiano already played knight f4.
Knight f4 played, yeah. Knight f4, e4, I guess, because knight c4 just queen c7, right?
Oh, there is also knight h3 check.
Oh, yeah.
Just to ruin the structure.
Yes.
And then I will even have queen g5 check. So... yeah, so e4 will be played. And now, I don't know, he can even take immediately if he wants.
He has very comfortable position. White's pawns are very weak.
No, I mean, it now, I don't know, maybe white still holds equality.
Yeah.
But there is no question of black being worse, I believe. I mean, also... after some simplifications, it will be important that black has a window for his king and white doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it can prove important once, because it will be something like, let's say, bishop e5, Fe, and now let's say bishop d7, bishop b7, rook b8. Actually, it's quite dangerous for white. And I mean, once there will be some simplifications, something like this.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's not the best example because here maybe there is rook d4, but I mean just in general.
Yeah.
And once some pieces are exchanged, then it will be important then that white doesn't have a breathing room for his king. And Fabiano already played bishop e5.
E5, so he still is.
What is going on? Why is he playing that fast?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just blitzing out. I mean, he plays slower and blitz than that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on? Maybe he has heard my praise about quick draw and just.
He was watching the banter blitz. Yesterday.
Maybe he took part in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Who
knows?
Eminem is back. Or something. So bishop e5, fe, bishop d7, maybe rook d. No, but e5 is also hanging. I mean, white needs to
e5
be a
and
little bit careful because I mean, okay. So let's say rook b7, bishop b7, rook b8. I guess now if bishop goes away, black will simply take the e5 pawn because bishop a4 doesn't win in exchange because rook d8 is a check. But I guess he will just take e5 pawn and white, I guess, is clearly worse. And so I guess here queen e4 is the move. But then I don't know.
If I just.
You can even play bishop
take,
a4.
With bishop.
Because if rook a1, you have queen c7, all sorts of moves. I mean, and maybe Magnus wants to take on d8 first. Rook d8, queen d8, now take. But then after queen c7, you have to stop bishop d7 somehow.
It's not easy because rook d1 just anyway, bishop d7.
Yeah, rook d1 definitely, bishop d7, and like
maybe
queen.
Rook b1?
Yeah, rook b1, rook b8. You will need to find some precise moves.
If I try to get like to a7 pawn with queen d3, queen e3, but e5 is hanging also.
Yeah, but I will also just protect the a7 pawn, I guess. You can try for some queen d6, but even that might be dangerous because the pawn can be weak. I don't know, maybe it's okay for white. Maybe. But again, to go for something like this.
Yeah, that would be.
And Magnus is thinking after bishop e5.
To take to d8 or to e5.
Yeah.
I think this is a nice example for players who think that the e5 pawn, they like the e5 pawn because it gives space, but in endgames it's always a weakness when it's not supported with the pieces.
Yeah, I think it's especially weak with like few pieces on board, but queens still on board.
Yeah.
I think because in endgame you can actually support it with f4, but with queens it's harder to push f4.
Yeah.
And still, when already white has no attack whatsoever, so it's like sort of semi-endgame, I guess, is the worst thing for this e5 pawn.
For this e5 pawn, yeah. It really needs pieces behind
Yeah. No, of course, imagine like knight on d6.
Yeah, knight on d6. That
queen on e4, bishop on c2, and
Yes.
Black resigns.
Welcome, mate.
Yeah.
I like black's position, and I'm sure Magnus will hold this one, but it's definitely very nice for Fabiano to get his preparation on the board with time advantage, because he had such difficult game yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but also, I mean, even already if he makes a quick draw like that, it will be very nice for him.
Yes.
But also, let's see. I mean, we are always sure Magnus will find the best moves, best defense, and so on. But as you can see, sometimes
he's also a human.
disappoints us. You know. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so while he's thinking, my question of the day is
without
Messi or Cristiano?
Yeah, I'm not that much into football, but I always heard from blondie girls Cristiano, but from men Messi, so I would go for Messi.
Okay. For me, it's hard to say because, like, I really respect both, but I just at some point when Barcelona was dominating everything, I was just rooting against them because I almost always root for underdogs, so I was very much anti-Barcelona, so automatically I had to be anti-Messi and pro-Cristiano, but I have nothing against Lionel. When he plays for Argentina, I'm rooting for Argentina, so yeah, for me it's like 50-50 almost.
50-50.
Maybe 60-40 to Cristiano, but I mean, if asked with whom I would prefer to drink some beers, it would definitely be Lionel. So
yeah. But you're following football.
What?
You're following football. Or not that much?
No. I mean, much less than some guys. Like, for example, Hismatulin is following much more than me. No, I mean, I'm mostly following basketball and chess, I guess, like my two main sports, yeah.
No cricket?
No. I mean, okay, I understand I'm a substitute Peter today, but not in every regard.
Not in every aspect. I think he made draw already. He was, as I read in chat, his game is finished and he made draw. So he won't have rest day tomorrow because he's playing another game and he will be back on Monday.
Okay, I will check his game. A moment. Let's see.
Should we commentate on his game?
Let's see. Yeah, he made a draw. He just... okay. He just repeated moves in some complicated position. I guess he didn't like what's going on.
He was very tired. We left the office yesterday at 11:30, and he had to get up at 7 a.m. to catch the train and be there for 4.5 hours away, and then right away from the train get to the board. So I think that being that tired, it's understandable that he repeated moves.
Yeah, I guess. What?
Yeah.
Do you hear some noise?
I hear a bit of background thing, but it does not disturb me.
Okay. It was my fault. I'm sorry. Okay, so Magnus took on d8.
Yep.
Queen d8. I'm pretty sure he will take fe, and he did. And so now...
Will he suffer a bit?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, again, like everything is concrete in chess. Like, I don't know. So there are like maybe two possibilities for black. One is Queen c7 that we discussed, and another is maybe play bishop d7, bishop b7, rook b8, and then play queen a5.
A5 and yeah.
Because in this queen c7 line, I mean, yeah, it looks also fine, but black is a little bit behind in development still, and here he just, although white maybe can, if white plays rook d1, at least then we avoided all those rook b1
rook
lines.
b1 lines, yeah. But is the sacrifice enough to grab the advantage? Do we get the a4 pawn back so easily?
Where would you go?
Tough to say. To e4 maybe, or
Okay, queen a5.
yeah. Let's say rook a1. So
No, but I'm going to take
e5
e5.
pawn. Oh, that's yeah. That's a bad thing for me.
Then I will be.
Oh, you could
maybe not much, but clearly better.
But you could take it directly, right?
How?
Oh no, queen was on d8. Sorry, I thought queen was c8. Yeah, c7. Yeah, bishop e4, queen a5, and I have to go f4 then. But once again, as you said, it's difficult to go f4 when queens are on board.
No, I mean now I can take a4, yeah. And you don't have rook a1 because of bishop c2 and bishop take e4. And if queen a2, then I always have a check thanks to f4. So I mean this f4 is always I mean it's a weakness with queens on the board.
So I have to defend it with rook e1, or how?
Or maybe you can maybe exchange the bishops like this, like bishop a6, queen a5, bishop b5. But I mean still I think, I don't know, take with queen or the rook. Again, this e5 pawn is slightly weak, and a pawn is slightly better than the c pawn. So it's still some hassle to make a draw. So, but Fabiano already played queen c7. I don't know. It's like he had some energetic yogurt at the morning.
We need that yogurt as well.
Yeah, but you know, it was a famous joke of Korchnoi when he played his match against Karpov and Baggio in 1978. And, you know, it was probably the most controversial match of all time. There was huge conflict between them. And in some of the games, and he was complaining that our delegation was giving Karpov some yogurt during the game. He was complaining, and then in some game, he had pretty much hopeless position after move 40.
Yeah.
I mean Korchnoi.
Yeah.
And Karpov could just take some time, adjourn the game, and analyze this position and pretty much guarantee himself a victory. But instead he kept blitzing the moves, and already when they adjourned the game, the position was drawish. And Korchnoi, in his comments about this game, he wrote, maybe this time the yogurt was too energetic and Karpov could not stop.
That's nice one.
Yeah, no, but Korchnoi was great in such things.
Yeah, he was
amazing.
He was amazing, yeah. He gave lots of juicy comments and jokes.
Yes. And Queens, but what's going on with the time? Is it the real time? Like 1:22?
I'm not completely sure, but yeah, on our website, Fabiano has 1:22 and Magnus like 29 minutes.
Yeah.
It is a bit, but if he's prepared and if he knows this position, then why to think?
No, but he cannot know. I mean, you are not going to analyze slightly better positions with black. I mean, okay, it's stupid. No, he's just blitzing.
Maybe he stopped right here.
No, No, I mean, usually you stop earlier. I mean, it's pointless. It's clear the position is completely safe and slightly better. I don't know. I mean, bishop d6, I think, was his preparation. Yeah.
With knight of 7 and everything covered.
Probably there is some defense. Yeah, probably some precise moves, I guess. Or yeah, I mean, that would be my guess. Obviously, there is no way for me to guarantee it.
But for us, it's still a mystery why bishop e2 in the opening and not knight d2, right? It's still a mystery for us.
Yeah. No, I mean, my mystery might be a little bit of too strong of a word, but yeah, I mean, I don't understand why. But I mean, there must be some reason.
Yeah.
So
Queen c7 played, and yeah, do you expect rook b1 or
rook b1 or rook or queen e4? Yeah. Queen e4 is also a possibility. Let's say queen e4.
And if I be greedy and take on c3, would that be very greedy?
No, but then I'm not sure you'll finish development.
Yeah, if queen c7.
Queen c7, queen d4.
Oh, and that then.
You are in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes. So queen c7, queen e4. So again, I guess it's either rook b8 or bishop d7. Let's say bishop d7, take rook b8, bishop. Here I guess white should make a draw quite easily. He's probably not worse even. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe
rook b8.
But he already played rook b1. Yeah, okay, it's very hard to comment when you cannot guess a single move.
Yeah.
I guess now I will guess rook b8 right, I hope.
Yeah, rook b1 played. And
what else?
Yep, we don't have bishop d7, so rook b8 is kind of the only move that gets...
You can also play queen e5, I mean, at least you can consider it. But then I think you will run into kind of same problem that
d5,
I will.
Queen d2.
Yeah, this d file, and it's. I mean, at least it's dangerous.
Yeah, and with e5, it won't help black to.
No, I mean I'm threatening queen d8, and it doesn't look good. So. And now, when I said he has the only reasonable move, he starts to think. I mean. This whole game is a humiliation.
He hears us.
Yeah. So maybe, or at least maybe I will guess this line which we were discussing with like rook b8, queen d3, bishop d7, queen d6. Maybe at least this is my last hope to guess anything. I don't know. I mean, and he's still thinking. But what is there any move?
Yeah. Also.
I mean, you need to develop your bishop eventually.
Yeah.
And for that, you have to protect the pawn. I mean, I just.
Yeah, there are no tricks. Yeah.
I mean, what is going on?
Can it be that? No. No, yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything other than rook b8. Maybe he wants like a. No. It would just lose tempos.
Yeah, it's time for another yogurt. I mean, what is going on? It's just okay, play finally. Rook b8. Okay, so what else after rook b8? Okay, queen e4. Maybe queen e4. I guess queen c3 still can be met with rook
Rook
d1.
yeah.
So if bishop b7, I think there are no real... or maybe you can... Because I thought that the
Descent game is...
bishop endgame should be okay for white. Maybe even bishop a6
Yeah.
here, then f4 and run with the king. I mean, it looks...
Can he try b6 on queen e4?
Yeah, definitely, but also here he
Yeah.
might try something like queen takes c3.
Oh, and there's the problem you mentioned that
Yeah,
white is
yeah,
suffering not to have
exactly.
window for
Exactly.
the king.
Or queen e5, maybe, or queen c3, something along those lines. So, rook b1, rook b8. So I don't know, I still prefer this queen d3, queen d6. So let's see again, queen d3. I don't know, again, I mean, you can maybe try b6,
yeah.
but it looks...
Queen d6
Even
anyway.
I can still play queen d6, and here, I mean, the only point would be to play bishop b7 there. I mean, if you don't want to play bishop d7, but then I think even here, I don't think white would get any worse than 3 against 4 rook, and it doesn't look that way. So let's say bishop d7, queen d6. I mean, queen c8 is ugly. No, you should take, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you should take.
If I don't want to give up my b7 pawn, but then it would transpose if I play b6, then a5 and a4.
Yeah, no, it's what we discussed actually long time ago. Yeah. So okay, so what is this position? So white wants like c4, c5. What is going on here? Because here there is some potential for black.
Yeah.
Let's say 5 maybe to prepare king f7, and so my idea was that if ab, maybe I can take rook b6. Maybe this bishop endgame is dangerous for white. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, it's now a little bit double-edged.
All right.
Or maybe
I can keep rooks and play.
Yeah, with rook d1, maybe rook b3,
c4,
rook c3. What is this? Even bishop e2 maybe. I don't know, it's now a little bit double-edged.
But would you prefer black in this position just because the rook is very active?
No, I mean, this d6 pawn, I mean, it can be very strong or it can be very weak as well. If I'm in time for king f7, e5, king e6, then it just can become a huge weakness if you are not in time to push c5 by then. So, I don't know, it's hard to say. So okay, so this position, I guess bishop a4 is not a real option because take, and I'm threatening c4, c5, c6. Although, what is this? a5, c4.
Have to stay on this diagonal with my bishop.
Yeah, black is just not in time.
Yeah. King f8.
Because I mean, I thought there would be an idea like if you could here somehow play a4, and then after c6 play bishop c6, bishop c6, a3.
Oh, that's
But you cannot play a4 here.
Yes.
So I guess this is nothing. So b6, a5. Okay, so now if b5, then c4. What is this c4? It looks okay for white. I mean, maybe you have b4, but it's again, c5, I thought rook c8.
And if I have
But-
to take, probably.
Yeah, but you can take and just play h3. I mean, yeah,
Or
no, it's
could I have something like c6, bishop c6, rook c1? Or I'm not in time. I'm not in time to catch
then I
b-pawn
think I will have
afterwards.
b3. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no, but no, it's okay. So that's probably not good for black.
Rook b8 played.
No, finally, yeah. a5, yeah, and now this looks like a critical position, this endgame. I don't know, king f8 or f5. So what was f5, ab? No,
Rook
I think
b6
that,
and ab is, yeah.
yeah, so if ab, I guess c4 can be played. I threaten c5, so probably you have to play rook c8. Rook b6, rook c4, but white
that-
should not lose it.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
okay.
even if you lose a pawn eventually,
Yeah.
like, I mean, the bishop endgame should be a draw. So,
On one flank.
so and this rook b6, okay, but I mean, it's now I don't know how to evaluate. It's double-edged. Became double-edged, and it doesn't seem like Fabiano is in mood today for something too double-edged. Just judging by how fast he is
Yeah.
playing, it seems like he is happy already with the direction the game is going, and I think Magnus is extremely unhappy with himself. That he went again. Yeah, he played queen d3.
Queen
Okay,
d3.
so finally we start to guess some moves, right? Yeah, because really it's very disappointing when you show some lines, shows, and no, you play different. Okay, you start to show new ones again. No, I mean, it's just you start to feel extremely stupid. Just yeah. So queen d3. I guess they will go for this endgame.
Yeah. Queen d3, bishop d7, and queen d6. We'll have. Can you try to keep the queens like queen d4, b6, a5, or it is worse for him?
You mean with white?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but
It
no,
looks
it's
worse.
possible, of course, completely possible. But I mean, you are not trying for an advantage.
Yeah,
so,
that's definitely not.
so I mean, I can play bishop c6 if bishop 6 queen c4.
Queen c4, yeah.
But even this is not a
Rook's-
tragedy.
oh, rook
yeah,
d8.
no, rook c8. It was a mouse slip.
Yeah.
Rook, I mean, yeah, maybe that's what he will do. Maybe he will play queen d4. Queen d4, yeah, b6, a5. And if b5, I guess you can even
Can push? Yeah.
push, yeah,
Rook b6, queen.
yeah,
Rook
b6.
bishop b7.
Let's say bishop c6, or you have some queen c5 here,
Yeah.
like
Do I
queen
have
c.
queen d7? Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be a draw, yeah, somehow.
I have a feeling that the way I play with white, I ask for some trouble, or not.
Why? No,
No.
why you take c6? Why? Okay, maybe.
Just all my pawns are.
No, but you take b5. So
Yeah,
what?
if I take b5, then I'm fine.
And black could try for rook c3,
Yeah.
g3, rook a3, if he had g6 instead of h7.
Yeah.
H6, because now white has check,
F7
and
pawn
rook
is
d7 and f7 is attacked.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's a good idea for white. Yeah, maybe it's actually simpler than queen d6. I don't know. But I just judging by the speed at which Magnus is playing, he doesn't like his position. I think he's not happy. And I mean, if he thought it's just a draw, he will still be playing faster, because I mean, clearly there are no chances real chances for a win here. And okay, a draw is a draw. And,
Yeah. Makes
last
everyone happy.
match, I mean, not everyone, I guess. Not always, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, bishop d7 is played.
And now it's on Magnus, queen d6, queen d4, but some move with queen because he cannot let black to consolidate. And
I guess maybe he could consider a5. Maybe it's not completely bad.
I meant some pass like h3 or something.
No, I mean the pawn is hanging on a4.
Yeah,
also.
the pawn is hanging. Yeah.
So no, I mean he's not ready to blunder such pawns yet. Maybe later, in like 30 years, maybe he will. Not now.
He has the yogurt now.
No, but Fabiano is playing incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, if bishop d6 was prepared, then the only kind of decision was this moment where he could play bishop d7 instead of queen c7.
Yeah.
And so, yes. And Magnus played a5.
A5. Okay.
a5, yeah. So what is this? e5? So now he wants, if let's say bishop e8, then queen d6. So to get
Improved
a better
version.
version, better version. And so maybe bishop c6 will be blitzed out. And then I guess it will be very hard to avoid a draw.
Yeah. Should we go queen c4 here?
Yeah, we can go queen c4, I guess. Yeah. No, queen c4. Maybe I have queen e5.
And if yeah, the back rank again.
Yeah. So bishop c6. No, I guess queen d6 should be. Although queen d6, take.
How's the rook endgame? Yeah.
King f8.
c4.
c4, king e8. What is this? It should be a draw,
C4.
at least. c5, king d7, a6, I guess.
Ooh.
So now, okay, if b6, then we can play cb, ab, a7, and rook.
Yeah.
And actually, this 3 against 4, it's even an easier draw with pawns f2, f3, h2 than f2, g3, h2. It's a well-known thing, because they just block black trying to create a passed pawn.
Passed pawn, yeah.
So, I mean, but if a6, you maybe can try king c6. What is this? But also, I guess we could start with a6 here.
Yeah.
And then it just will be
And
what
c5.
we discussed, c5, king c7, yeah.
Bit more
So,
precise.
okay, so let's see, 5. Yeah, my guess would be bishop c6. Yeah, and then, but this is a little bit dangerous, this position, in the sense that if Fabiano will eventually take this pawn, he will just can try a revenge for yesterday.
Yeah, and play.
I mean, yeah, and just play,
Yeah.
like, in some bullet style, like 49 moves, then g6, and so on.
Can I ask if a6 makes sense on a5 to go some bishop b5 and just to keep the queen and rook and just play for weaknesses.
Yes, but now it's maybe you who have weaknesses.
Yeah. Now I will be in trouble.
No, I mean, I'm not sure trouble, but I think white is out of danger now.
Yeah. C4.
Bishop c4, rook d7. I don't think. And if you take and king f8,
Yeah, then
I will put my bishop to c6, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't think you will ever
no.
be able to come to the pawn. Or I can wait for king e8 and then maybe play. I don't think. And here you could not play bishop b5 because of bishop a6.
Yeah, bishop a6 is nice.
So, yes. So. No, I really doubt he will play a6.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, he's not in the mood, I believe, for such things.
No, of course not.
I think bishop c6 should happen. Unless there is some resource, but... I mean, he can play b6. No, but or maybe b6, and it's just equal.
Mm-hmm.
AB, you can even, I don't know, you can even take with the rook. And now you cannot take, because queen b6 could have been interesting, but white can just take and there is no mate, because d1 is protected, and and AB is just, I mean, or AB, rook b6, AB, like any move, queen d4.
Yeah, this is
just
easy
completely equal, Yeah, so...
Good thing for white is that queen d6 is very strong and black kind of cannot avoid it because of the pin and rook on b8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we expect either bishop c6 or b6.
Yeah, or, I mean, b5 you can maybe play with the same idea. But everything is more or less the same.
But can white try something without going into this endgame pawn down, rook endgame pawn down?
Ah, for sure, it was just like emergency line.
Yeah.
The one that just took no effort to think about. I mean, I guess there could be something else.
Sure.
Although if I'm in time to bring my king, okay, there is some danger for white. So I think he should do something.
I mean, this queen endgame is worse for him. We don't get queen endgame, right? If I take on c6, bishop c6, bishop c6.
You mean here?
Yeah, white.
Worse.
Queen d6.
Again, I'm not sure. Queen d6, but it's the same, but you don't have a window. I mean, what is the achievement?
Yeah.
Because it's the same position,
with
but
a6
the pawn
and
on
c5,
G2.
b5. Yeah.
So now you don't have window, and maybe
it's better to play
maybe.
queen d6.
I mean, I would rather play queen d6. I mean, it's just completely. Also, I mean, here I'm not sure black manages to win. Maybe he will with like e5, king e6, because you cannot just bring the rook to, let's say, d5, because there will be rook b7 check. But maybe you can do eventually with e5.
King e6, rook d7?
Yeah, but even then there will be some rook before f4, so it will be just a complete draw.
Just to,
It will be, not worth playing even. So, no, I don't know, I mean, what he will do. It's just a coin flip, like, between b5, b6, bishop c6, and,
There is a question on our chat if after b6 white can be better with c4.
But why?
Yeah, I don't know. We have
C8.
question.
No, I think white should forget about being better. Here. Just altogether. No, I mean, I don't believe so. It's like a very good Caro-Kann for black or something. Just, I think he should be happy he has enough for equality and
Yeah.
be set with it.
He still takes his time, Fabiano, to
So for the
decide.
first time he started to really think. And
Yeah. But I guess it's a bit more pleasant to play it with black pieces.
No, I mean, I'm sure he's much happier with himself now than Magnus.
Yeah.
I mean, Magnus is not going to be very happy at the press conference and everywhere.
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, it's the first time I see Magnus being so great at the press conferences.
Yeah.
I mean, both in the before round one and after round one. I mean, he comes up with a lot of interesting things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you follow or not.
I do, and yesterday's conference surprised me pleasantly, because I guess it's very difficult from such game. He realized that he was winning; it's a missed chance, but he took it like, yeah, I will take positive things from this game.
No, okay, it's another thing. I mean, it's you can say one thing and think otherwise, but it's more about like all those like women hate me and I repel them
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, that was in the opening ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot remember him being so exciting at the press conference.
Yeah. He jokes a lot. But they were like, what is the question again? What is the question? Do you really mean if you have women's support? Unexpected question and good answer.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, while Fabiano is thinking, it's a great moment for a break, I believe.
Sure.
But if it's okay, then stay with us. Maybe something interesting will eventually happen today. Let's see.
Sure, we'll see Sasha very soon. And the moment he told me that while Fabiano is thinking we'll take a break, my producer just left the room. So, second time already, I'm here without producer. I'm not going to just get up and go. I'll just take a look at the chat, and I will hope that at some point he will come back, and I'll also have a break, and we will have some moves as well. I see that we have lots of things going on in chat, and lots of discussions, questions. I'm really trying my best to take a look at the chat and see what are you guys talking about, and just ask Sasha the same questions as I see in the chat. But once again, I apologize if I cannot read everything. Okay, so I have support on chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. And the question for me is that, Sopiko, would you try to find something to play for a win here? As I like this position for black, I don't think that white should, I don't know, white should think of some winning chances. But I don't know what can go wrong. Probably this is the question I might ask Sasha when he comes back, like how can black play so that Magnus gets chances? Because only thing I see here is this queen d6 ideas. Otherwise, if black consolidates, then I think this pawns on a5, c3 and e5, they are all weaknesses, and queen d6 just kills all these attacks, and we will get into the end game. I heard a lot of things going on b6 and c4, but as Sasha pointed out, rook c8, and now this pawn is hanging. Well, not yet, of course, but I guess even if I take maybe h3, 23rd g5 I read now. If I play here, h3, probably just bishop c6, and I don't see any chances for white to win. Bishop c6 played. Bishop c6. Okay, there we go. No b6. This is the game. Mr. Dodge is saying that if this game goes on for 7 hours, the commentators will lose their minds. Actually, this was the question on the press conference as well, and Magnus said that, okay, not every game will be 100 moves. So I believe him, and I hope that we're not stuck here for another coming 7 hours. But I'm definitely stuck here alone. I should probably just call my producer like, hey, I should go for a break as well. But bishop c6 played, and we discussed this line with queen d6, and as Sasha explained, it's better to have open square for the king, so there is no worries for mate, and it's easier to defend f3, f2, h2 in rook endgames against 4 pawns, rather than have f2, g2 and h2. Queen d6 is only move, and I see it on chat that queen d6 is only move. Another moves, we tried queen c4, that was my thing, but queen e5, and the thing is that I cannot take this pawn because this is, okay, first check, but I can take this pawn because of mate on b1, so we definitely are missing this window on the king side. Bishop c6. Mr. Dodgy should take over so Sopiko can get her break. I'm fine sitting here. I'll just wait for Sasha for the expert opinion so that I don't say any kind of bullshit. And yeah, I guess he's back. Yeah, we have Sasha back.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I never got the break because the moment you said that it's time for a good break, my producer, who is sitting there, just left. So I was just talking and talking.
Okay, I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. Okay. At least the move was made in the meantime, and yeah, bishop c6. Yeah, and now I managed to read some engine suggestions.
Yeah.
And yeah, queen d6. Yeah, queen d6 is played.
Yeah, queen d6
already.
played.
So yeah, but I mean, it just I mean, the engines give black a clear edge in those endgames. But I mean, viewers can calm down. I mean, it's still a complete draw because engines give considerable advantage for black, but it's just a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, but those guys, you know, who always
You're
write
excited.
things like you know, they like those jokes like Dronik, like Dronant, and so on.
Dronish, Anish has a lot of
Dronish,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, they're now probably typing like, Fabiano is winning, and so on, but no, calm down.
Nothing like that happens. Yeah.
No, I mean, okay, let's check it once again, but I think it's just completely forced. Queen d6, e6, bishop f3, gf. I mean, you have to run with the king, c4, you have to run further, a6. Okay, you cannot avoid b6, c5.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, have to play king d7.
It's forced.
C b6. You cannot take with the rook, obviously,
Yeah.
because white will queen. So c b6, a b6, a7, rook a8. I mean, it's just completely forced rook a7, and yeah, and it's a draw. It's a dead draw without d6 pawn, and even yeah. So yeah, okay. I mean, now it's just a question if Fabiano will have this revenge mood or not. I mean, now.
To torture us again for coming hours.
Yeah, but now he will. Yeah, he will torture us. I mean, not Magnus.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, of course. So. Yeah, but so I think game 3 must be very interesting. I think Fabiano really wants to take the lead sort of early in the match.
So he is opening up his kind of secrets, and he's showing his preparation in the very beginning.
No, I mean, today it's not to take the lead. No,
Yeah.
of course, no. I mean, it's not about showing the secrets, but rather that I think he will try to be really aggressive in game 3. And Magnus also, I think, especially after his match against Karyakin, he doesn't want the match to go draw.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think game 3 will be very important and probably very interesting, unless, of course, there will be some liquidation just straight out of the opening. But, I mean, if it will be Rossolimo again, then it's not so easy to liquidate in Rossolimo. Yeah, I think it will be a huge fight. So today was like half of the game, but I think the next game will be a real game again.
And do you think we will get the same Rossolimo as we got in first game, and we will see some improvement?
I don't think so. I think Magnus will be jumping a little bit in the opening. Like even against Karyakin, he was playing this Rui Lopez, Marshall, but in 6 move d3, it's like every time he was playing a different system with black. So, I mean, it's possible we will have Rossolimo, but then it will be some different line by black. I mean, even if we will have Rossolimo, which is far from certainty.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. All the coming games will will be more and more interesting because, if we have draws, then probably do you think that tie breaks is in the Magnus is a very big favorite in tie breaks?
I mean, very big. I mean, it depends how you describe very big, but yeah, I mean, like 75%, I guess.
Yeah.
In tie breaks, maybe 80. But I mean, no, it's not 95. No, not at all. But also, I would be lying if I would say it's 50-50. Also, no, it's not 50-50.
That's why everybody expects that Fabiano will go kind of all in the classical time control.
I mean, definitely not in the first games, but in general, he doesn't play for a draw with white. I mean, he takes risks with white. So.
And with black, he managed to put some kind of pressure today as well on Magnus.
I mean,
No?
on Magnus, yes, but I don't think he was really trying to win at any point of the game. So it's more like psychological, maybe pressure. Yeah, and now he's thinking. What can he be thinking about again?
To take on f3 or not?
Or
Or
what?
just to, or what? I don't know, just maybe
Rook d8.
yeah, rook d8.
Rook d8. I completely missed this.
But a6 cannot be a move?
Can be. So bishop f3.
AB.
And even but AB, yeah, no, but then...
no, then rook d6 and I cannot take on a7.
Yes, this is dangerous
yes.
now. So, one moment, rook d8. Okay, let's say bishop c6, b c6, rook... no, maybe I start with g3. I will start with g3, and then if you take, I will check first.
Oh, and then
play
rook
rook b7, and...
This is easier for him.
No, I mean, it's white is not worse, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what else? Like bishop d5? I mean, it doesn't look likely. You can even take... yeah, I guess you can take on d7.
d7, yeah.
And after king f8, rook b7, rook b7, d8 comes not just with a check, but with a checkmate.
Yeah, with the mate.
Yeah, so... yeah, just...
Yeah, we're not sure what he's thinking about more. Maybe just deciding between rook d8 and bishop f3. Or he just thinks what will happen after bishop f3. How can he try to put some pressure?
Yeah, like this double check, triple check
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, the spin on b file kind of saves white in every case with a6, c4, c5, c6.
Yeah, no, but that's why maybe at this moment on move like move 20, maybe bishop d7 was after all more interesting, because then
bishop b7.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing. Yeah,
yes.
rook b8, then
and
queen
with
a5.
Rook a6, bishop a6 and bishop b5, right?
Yeah, but then then it's definitely slightly better for black. So maybe if you don't take, but what exactly you can do, like rook b1, I don't know, maybe I can even go queen a5 and just say that it's nothing special, this rook b7, then bishop a4. Maybe I can go like this.
Queen a2?
Yeah, but...
queen c3 you can take.
Queen c3, queen e5.
Yeah, anything.
I mean, it's not obvious now.
Yeah, who is better?
No, I mean, it's obvious who is better. I mean, it's not obvious how white will make a draw. You mean there is rook b1 then?
Yeah, but...
maybe. So, maybe it's a very strong move. So if rook b1, I play rook b8. Then maybe you can play queen d1, just trying to transpose to queen c7.
And queen d6.
Yeah, queen d6, or even maybe
but
still
now
you
a4
can play
is,
a5.
Yeah.
Maybe still you can play a5. Maybe it was still nothing. I don't know. There was the only moment he could try for something. Because here it just everything is forced, I guess. Yeah, just now. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to this rook d8, bishop c6, take. g3. Okay, what else? I mean, I want rook b7.
if I play something like rook d7, I can even play c4, right? To force you to take on d6.
Maybe c4 or a6 I
Yeah.
can play. No, maybe you can try g5 with the point of rook b7, rook d6, rook a7, rook d3. That now f7 is not hanging. Okay, I mean white can always go for this 3 against 4.
Yeah.
Like in anyhow, and he will be in time to push h4. But this is okay. This is a little bit of a chance for black.
Yes.
Although it's still a draw.
And when I was reading chat a bit, I'm not sure if it was in this position, but can it be that 23rd after a5, can g5 be interesting here? It looks a bit unhuman. Or it's...
Maybe, but...
I don't know what is, if it was this position.
I don't know.
Probably the idea is that queen d6? No, yeah. I mean, if I still play queen d6?
We can play queen d6, we can play queen d4.
Yeah.
I don't know, even h4 maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was not this
Right,
position.
probably.
And
Maybe this
I
position.
misread.
So after all, how to make the easiest draw after rook d8? So rook d8. Maybe here we can play king f1. So then after g5 we will have king, let's say rook b7,
Yeah.
rook d6 and king e2. And actually maybe white is a little bit better. Because you cannot take the c pawn now. Yeah, so there probably king f1,
King f1 is
just,
most precise.
yeah,
And bishop f3 was taken.
Okay, so now they will, I guess, blitz out all those moves with c4, then a5 and so on. I mean, I don't see a choice here. I mean, there is an idea of like rook b4, rook c4, but I don't know, it just seems more complicated.
Yeah, easiest is the c4, a6, right?
Yeah, c4, king a8, a6.
Yeah.
I think it's just completely forced. Yes. Let's see, of course, but... And I mean, Magnus is quite a human player.
Yeah.
I mean,
He won't go for...
yeah, I mean, this rook b4, okay, is just so much less forcing, and it's clear that white is not trying for an advantage, so...
Better to cut the lines and force.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, I guess we will get the moves soon. How do you feel? There were some questions above, like how do you feel playing against Fabiano or Magnus? They say that you have 3-3 in classical against Fabiano?
Yeah, I guess so. I have read it somewhere, yeah. Haven't counted myself.
Yeah, to be precise, with 9 draws, an update.
No, I mean, I'm always enjoying really much to play against Magnus. I'm not sure why, because I have lost many games to him, but also won quite a lot of games. I don't know, it's always a pleasure for me to play him. And Fabiano also is a very interesting opponent. We had very few duel games out of those. Okay, so if you say 3-3 with 9 draws, it means 15 games.
Yeah.
And there were like, I don't know, I cannot even remember a single duel game between us. Like every game was interesting. There might have been some short draw, but I cannot remember it. Yeah.
Great. So, yeah, we have people are a bit excited about this d6 pawn, and they think that it gives advantage to Magnus, but
No.
we really will stay on our opinion that White is trying to force draw.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, I mean, once king on c6, I mean, this d6 pawn is not an asset for White. It's more like a bad thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And Magnus is still thinking. Can you tell me what was your longest thought on one move?
oh, 1 hour something. I think it was my game against Karyakin, and actually it was in a position that I analyzed before, but I could not remember. But I took like 1 hour 20 maybe, and made the correct move and won the game.
I remember I was playing in London Open, FIDE Open, and you were playing in London Classics against Anish, I think. And definitely within an hour, I was coming to the hole and there was no move. I thought that it was your longest thought because Anish was telling me that it was also 1 hour 20, like move f4. Does it ring a bell?
I was black or white?
White, I think.
I was white.
In London Classics, like
London
3 years
Ah,
ago.
yes.
Yeah.
It was also in the position I analyzed, but this time I didn't manage to remember. Yeah. Yeah. So both times it was the position I knew.
I remember Anish was telling me like Sasha completely knocked me out by thinking 1 hour and 20 minutes, like I didn't know what to do anymore. He was sitting sometimes in hall, sometimes watching other games.
Yeah, but that's the problem of classical chess. Yeah. I mean, it can be, that you enter the hall, okay, nothing happens, then in, I don't know, 1 hour, 30 minutes you come back and white played h3 and black played h6.
And then again, nothing happens.
Yeah, this is the problem.
What's the best time control for you? Blitz? Because you are 3 times world champion.
In what sense? In a sense, I
What do
play
you
the
enjoy
best.
most?
I enjoy most, I guess, Blitz, yeah.
Blitz.
Yeah. I'm not sure which is the one I play best, but enjoy best the Blitz.
And what do you think is most correct for chess in general? Like the longest time control they have now with additional time on 30 move, 40 move, 60 move, or just the normal 130?
I mean, I definitely prefer 130, but maybe for World Championship it's better this 2 hours and 1 hour and 15 minutes after move 60.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it also very much depends on the opening. I mean, I think the ideal thing would be the following. I mean, that would never happen, but that would be ideal. Like, let's say there is Queen's Gambit, some main line. Okay, you give players like 30 minutes for the game. If it's some Najdorf or King's Indian, you give them classical time control. But that would never happen.
Great idea.
Yeah, but because really, if there is some, I don't know, some Benoni or some complicated Najdorf or King's Indian and Dutch, I don't know, then there is very good reason for a classical time control. But if you have some, I don't know, anti-Berlin with Rook E1, then maybe put them bullet or something.
Bullet.
Yeah.
You praised Berlin in Banter Blitz I read yesterday.
Yeah. But I already blamed the guy, say it's unfair and you should be disqualified, banned forever from chess 24.
Yeah, that is true. Berlin in Blitz is just a sin.
Yeah, although I myself do it. Yeah. Okay, so at least they are playing,
Yeah.
and they're going for this position.
We're heading for the
And
lines we covered.
and now just everything depends on Fabiano. Just will he show some mercy or not to us?
Right. Will he play for another coming 1 or 2 hours, or he'll just agree draw? Yeah, because they are playing.
I mean,
pretty
he will
fast
not
here.
agree a draw, but I mean, he can try to, I don't know, to avoid this exchange of after he will play e5. Will he try to avoid f4 or not? I mean, I just don't know. There is no way to know.
Yeah, we have
Totally his choice.
this A7 already, and do you expect some deep thought at some point from players?
No, that's what I mean, I don't expect one from Magnus.
Yeah.
But maybe this is the last question of the game. I mean, if Fabiano will try because I guess there is no other plan for him other than e5, king e6.
Yeah.
Because he will not be able to move the rook from a7 because of rook b7 check. So and then if just he will try to avoid the f4 or not. Although, as I said, it's a complete draw without f4. So,
Yeah, king g2 was played.
I guess he will play e5. Because if you go g5, then there is like some rook b8, rook h8.
Yeah, I'll try to
Like, yes.
show it. Rook b8 and h6 pawn.
Yeah, although sometimes rook can get trapped on h6, but not, I think, in this position. There are sometimes, if let's say white had pawn on h3 and black king was a little bit closer, then by the time white takes on h6, black plays king g7, and if he has rook on 8th rank, the rook is trapped. And after rook h5, king g6, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so he played already e5.
Yeah.
So he is not trying this. And now let's see. I mean, if Magnus will try at all for f4 or not, and if Fabiano will try to avoid it or not. It's like
Easiest, you think, for white is just to go king g3, f4, and simplify the position, or rook b4, f4?
No, I would not go with my king away from my pawn. No, it's either rook b4 or just doing nothing. I mean, let's see. Rook b4 is played.
Yeah, rook b4.
And now,
for f4.
And now let's see, because Fabiano, I guess, can try something like f5 or g5. I don't know. Also g5, there is even h4.
And f5 looks interesting, or not?
I mean, in a sense, interesting. I mean, it's played. Okay.
Yeah, f5.
No, I mean, it's fine to play. Just, unless he thinks for a long time about the moves.
Yeah.
I mean, if he just wants to blitz out the moves, it's fine by me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame him. Now, let's see if Magnus will try for something forced or he will just wait. I don't know.
Can he wait, like, with having rook on b6 and move king?
Move. No, I mean, okay, you can move in anyway, but I mean, you're not going to wait for too long because
Yeah.
rook b6, I will take king e6, then next move rook
Rook
d7,
d7.
and next move I will take the pawn. So no, I mean, by waiting, I mean not trying to force anything, just to give up this d6 pawn and live with that. Just probably put h3 maybe.
Yeah. I read in chat that Fabi's only chance to win this game is against me. I think Fabi has a lot of earlier chances to win against me in any position. So people also count down and they think that it's a draw.
Yeah. No, but I mean, in our chat, they listen to us. So it's more like in other chats.
Yeah.
When they just look at the engine valuation. Okay, well, I mean, I will just check, for example, what is now the valuation. So it's, okay, 0.40.
Okay.
And it was a huge mistake according to engine, f5. If king d6, f4, e take f4, it's
Winning.
0.90.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
We should
almost a red move f5. So,
how do you feel about people commentating and like on your game, or are you generally reading some commands?
No, I mean sometimes they're funny.
Yeah.
I mean not that often, but some are quite funny. I mean even this thing with Drovnik, Dronan, even there I remember there was one really funny joke. I just cannot remember what it was, but there was one really funny joke.
I just remember a lot of jokes about Anish, like they would put the position white king on f7, queen g5, and king h8, and everybody would be like queen g7, queen g8 mate, and Anish would be like queen g6 draw.
Yes, but then it was improved. Like then it was Kramnik on this picture, and he said, yes, but even queen a2 is winning,
Yeah.
and queen f1 is completely winning, and you know queen c6 is winning, and you know even king e6 is a mate in 3. It was an improved version after the candidates.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but yeah, we have a lot of jokes about Kramnik as well, about anybody actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure like about Caruana.
Yeah, I just had a thought that do we have jokes about Fabi?
I mean, nothing I'm aware of.
Yeah. We could have memes, but yeah, I don't remember them that well. Yep.
Okay, so Magnus just played rook b6. I guess king e6 will follow.
Yep.
No, I think it will last for another like 20 minutes for sure. The game, I mean, but yeah, but.
Do you think that if we get somehow 3 against 2, draw will be agreed?
No, maybe he will just advance the pawns very quickly and more pawns will be exchanged and then the draw will be agreed. No, I mean, especially after yesterday, you really don't want to agree immediately. I mean, you take or give a little bit of revenge at least, I think. Yeah, and it's interesting that at the press conference, Magnus never really mentioned pushing a5. Yeah. He just said he was waiting for a blunder.
Yeah. Yeah, he was waiting for a blunder and he was too careful. But I remembered your words that you said when he played something like a h5 or something, that he played too ambitious, and if he would be punished for that, and he really got punished.
When
very
he
quickly.
avoided
Yeah.
playing a5.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
He really got punished.
Yeah, but it's strange that he doesn't mention it, because he mentioned all the critical points of the games, of the game, other than this one. And
Yeah,
he discussed at some length the endgame. It's not like he just said, okay, the endgame is a dead draw,
Yeah.
okay, leave me alone. But he discussed it, but he never mentioned pushing
a5, yeah.
five, yeah. And I'm sure he follows all the top games, so he must have known that Nepomniachtchi won 2 similar endgames recently.
With the structure, yeah, it could not have been that he just thought that it's an easy draw and my chances are in a different position.
No, I mean, he probably thought it's an easy draw, but I mean, I'm sure he was aware of Nepomniachtchi's games.
Yeah.
So yeah, so okay, Magnus gave up the pawn already with just d7, king take d7. Maybe he wanted like rook b5, rook b6, so something like rook b5, rook b6.
If I give a
king
lot,
f7, rook b5. I mean, with an idea of rook e7, f4, but I guess king can run to g5 to avoid it.
Oh.
I guess.
And
like,
if I place,
No, I mean you can.
rook e6, but rook a5.
Yeah, king f4 even, or rook a5. I mean, maybe, and now rook g6. You can sort of try to put like this, but then at some point there will be some idea of maybe rook a3, exchanging this. I mean, probably still a draw, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure he will go for this. No, but he played rook b5. So,
yeah. And king e6.
Yeah, and I'm
and
pretty
f4.
sure he will check.
Oh,
f4?
directly. Huh?
What?
Oh, no. No. Sorry, I just had... I just read the wrong one. Sorry.
Okay, so he played rook b6, yeah. So...
Yeah, rook b6.
No, Fabiano will play king f7, and he did.
Rook b5, king f6. We will see this properly.
And Fabiano will have almost 2 hours after move 14.
That is true. Mr. Dodgy points out that yesterday black was okay, today black is still okay. Will Monday be black is okay forever?
Might
we will
be.
see that.
Be.
Yeah, king f6, rook b6, and king g5, I guess we will have soon on board.
So he keeps checking, yeah?
Yeah. King g5. Is there any danger? There is no danger to go king g5, right?
No. For black, no. There is no danger for black. Only in bullet there is some danger that white will play rook a6 and you will remove something else at some point. No.
Rook a6, yeah.
Okay, so what was he thinking about? Well, let's see if he will actually try for this scheme of defense with rook on g6, or just just play king g5, rook b4 or something, or rook b5. Again, it's it's hard to guess. It's just it's like a matter of taste mostly. So.
Basically, white won't do anything with the king structure and just move the rook.
Yeah. No, I mean you can maybe play h3 at some point, because I mean you don't want black to be able
G4,
to play g5, h5, g4.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So what is happening?
King g5 played.
Oh. Okay, and now let's wait. But there was a little bit surprising thing happened.
Oh. King g5 and rook b5.
Yeah, and now.
Either rook e7 or king f4.
Yeah, and he didn't try to play rook e7, because I'm sure Magnus will play rook e7, then go back king f6, and rook e6, and so on. But Fabi just goes to exchange the pawns, and.
So it clearly goes into draw.
No, I mean he's not trying to win. He's just making the moves.
Yeah. Rook b4, e4 probably. Yeah, e4 is on the board.
Okay, but now it's...
Will we have the results soon?
No, it's for sure. No doubt.
Well, interesting. Very interesting game and interesting opening. Do you think rook d8 will open a new chapter in opening theory? Will people try to jump on engines and try to analyze?
No, definitely in like 2-3 hours it will be analyzed by many people.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's so easy to analyze it. Why not to analyze? You don't even have to do anything. You just turn on the computer, put the position, and that's
push
it.
The
and then you
bar.
just copy paste. No, but to push the space bar is takes some effort. No, just then you just copy paste.
And that's it.
No, I mean okay, but at least it will give a good food for thought. I mean it's not a final analysis, but already it's some food for thought. And,
that is true. Yeah, we have different position. We already have e4 and
yes.
Many things happened. They are blitzing out the moves, but...
Okay, so Fabiano will check from g5, and then after seeing that after king f1 there is no improvement for him, okay, he will make like 5 more moves, maybe 10 more moves.
Yeah.
But at least, I mean, they're blitzing, so it's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
You can...
Yeah, this is draw. And we will have rest day tomorrow. Deserved rest day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think with those 2 games, I think it's really ideal start
Format,
for Caruana, especially for Caruana in terms of warming up and getting into the match. Because first you have a real game, so you get into the game and then you sort of rest the next day, and then he will have a real rest day tomorrow. So yeah, I think it's a good start for him.
Yeah.
Even not counting that he was completely lost yesterday. I mean, even if it was just a level but very tense game, even then it would be nice for him.
Yeah, to have such start.
Yeah, I mean, especially in such, how to say, that first it was this huge fight, and then it was almost a rest day. I mean, it would be, I think, worse for him. It was the other way around.
Yeah, that is true, and we will be back on Monday. Rook b7 played, but...
Also fine move. No, I mean, there is some danger. Let's say if here, after rook b7, rook g5, king f1, e3. If you will play f take e3, then after king g3, white may end up in some trouble.
Because we lose the h pawn.
Yeah, maybe it's even lost, but I mean at least it's. But white has rook f7 check, for example. So.
Yeah, and rook f5 just.
You can take g7.
Yeah.
You can take g7, and after king e4, you have rook g2, or even I think the pawn endgame should be a draw.
Pawn endgame, yeah.
Should be a draw.
Probably rook g7 is a bit more easier.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so he gave a check and played rook g6.
With rook f6? What does he want? Nothing,
No,
just plays.
No, he wants to bring the king to h4.
King g5 and king h4. But then I can I play like rook e7, sort of?
You can play rook e7, you can play rook b4, you can play
A lot of moves.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it looks to me that the simplest is just to keep the rook on 4th rank, but...
and pin.
Yeah, then I just don't see. King f3 always check. You cannot go rook g5, the pawn is hanging, and if your rook moves to e6 or to whatever, I can go king g2, so...
Yeah.
It seems to me the easiest way. But, I mean, to each his own in such position. It's just a matter of taste.
That looks pretty easy. Yeah, just to play rook b4 and then... Okay, so we are waiting for some moves. They have increments on their clock already.
Yeah, they should, but somehow we don't, yeah?
Yeah, we don't, but it's already move 47. Yeah, rook g6, and they got the increment, but it doesn't change the situation that much, as we have clear position on the board already.
Yeah. Okay, there is nothing to tell about this position. Yeah, I mean, maybe the press conference will be interesting. I don't know.
Well, what are your guesses? Like, will Magnus say that it was a surprise for him to face rook d8, or will he point out knight f7?
I think he will be in a bad mood today. I think he is really upset by his preparation. I mean, especially since it's second match in a row, he is just completely toothless with white in the opening, just completely. Yeah, and I mean, it's just a question whether he will compose himself or he will just show that he is upset. But he will be upset, I mean, whether he shows it or not. I mean, I guess for audience will be more interesting if he does show it.
Yeah.
Obviously, but yeah.
It's hard.
Actually, I found one interesting thing, that here king f3, rook f7 mate into. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also possible. Black can also lose this game.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, and Fabiano, okay, he will be just quite happy and polite as usual. And, I mean, from him, I don't expect anything too interesting at the press conferences. It's mostly Magnus. Yeah, and Magnus agrees with me. He plays rook b4, so well done, Magnus. Yep. Good endgame understanding. Okay.
And probably some moves will follow, but since there will be this kind of maneuver, that white is not doing anything but hanging on this e4 pawn. We will have draw agreed.
Okay, so Fabiano played rook. Yeah, so they repeat. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's great news. Great news.
End of our torture.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's such. I mean, after you played king f4, e4, it's like you made your intentions clear.
Yeah.
It's, if you really want to torture, you play rook e7
Yes.
there. And I mean, yeah, of course it's complete draw. But I mean, then at least you have some dream of, you know, given check on g6. White will probably go to f1 and then run with the king to h3.
Yeah.
I mean, that will never happen because white will attack the e5 pawn, f5 pawn. But I mean, there is some, I don't know, dream or whatever.
Yeah.
You can call it, and yeah, after, yeah, it's just a draw.
Yes. So they repeat moves, and indeed game 3 will be very interesting as they played both colors already, white and black, and they both managed to surprise each other. I'm really looking forward to what will happen in game 3.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, the draw will be agreed like second after second. Okay, they're just repeating.
Yeah. Rook b7,
And
rook b4. With time 1 hour and 39 minutes for Fabiano.
yeah, for him it's quite a lot because he's not playing super fast usually.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be peanuts for Nepomniachtchi because sometimes I think once he was approaching 3 hours, I believe.
Oh my god.
Or maybe at least 2.5, but
It might be his goal as well, right? Just to improve on his record.
yeah, but I think it was set long time ago in his game against Shirov in Vaikanze. It was like preparation against move 35,
Wow.
and then he got queen against rook, but it was a clear fortress for Shirov.
Yeah.
And okay, he was just blitzing out the moves till like move 70, so he was like blitzed the whole game.
Oh
yeah,
my
and
god.
it was, I don't know, it was 248 or something. It was something really ridiculous.
Yeah. And draw agreed. We have result already on our screens. Draw agreed. Well, great game. We have every day some new positions and something we are happy to see.
Yeah, especially today, I'm very happy. And I mean, for those who maybe just started to watch, I will say that Fabiano was prepared very well in the opening. He played a new idea with black and was prepared. He made many moves by his preparation, and Magnus had some interesting opportunities. It's mostly knight d2 here on move, I guess, on move 11, and it was knight take f7 here on move 17. And after he played bishop f3, he was very slightly worse, but without any real danger to lose. And yeah, the game just quite peacefully finished in a draw.
Right.
So I want to thank our viewers and see you on Monday. Tomorrow is the rest day.
Yeah, we will be back with Peter Swidler on Monday. Tomorrow is a rest day. Thanks for watching and have a rest tomorrow, and we'll be back on Monday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.